Commentators here. Really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way. Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome once again to Sim Racing World TV. Tonight, it's round 4 of our touring car TCR season, and it's the battle for the Ashes with a mix of English and Aussie tracks coming our way throughout the season. Tonight, we're once again on home soil at Winton Raceway, the national layout for the TCRs tonight, and it's all thanks to our round sponsor, Warren and Brown Tools. It's a tight track where you need to either force a mistake to make a pass or send it hard and hope you can pull it up in time. So it should be an awesome night of racing here on SRW TV. It's Cowy, your average sim racer here, together with Chef Toddy on comms and Rob, Sainted Hater, behind the scenes looking after the cameras on tonight's action once again. It's going to be an awesome night. Winton, so should be some great bumping and barging here. Toddy, what do you think, mate?
Oh, mate, this is going to be a great track for these cars, I reckon. I reckon you might see a few more passing opportunities because they're a bit smaller than the GT3s and other cars that we've seen around here as well. So it's going to be great to see these really bump and run sort of battles. And I reckon there's going to be quite a bit of door rubbing tonight.
Well, I know there was a fair bit in the AM V8 race last night. I might have had a bit of that happen myself. But it's definitely one of those places where you've really, you've got to force it. Though we have seen from time to time that these TCRs really do benefit from the draft. It's just there's not a real long straight here. Perhaps that last part they might be able to take advantage of, Todd. We'll just have to see how they go.
Yeah, definitely. And I reckon your classic spot as well, around where the toilet block is there before you get to under the tree. That'll be a great little spot. If people have enough cojones into the late braking zone there, they might be able to get some a few passes there. So, yeah.
Well, that's it, man. And all you can see here, having a look at that move there. Just hit a bit of curb. Is that Jack Rogers in behind Greg Johnson? And when you're sending it like that... And that was the Audi too, buddy. So we got to see again that the Audi has not got any softer on the curbs as the weeks have gone by.
Yeah, true. But we've seen them. We've seen some upsets with the Audis. Hey, we thought we might have seen just all the Hyundais up the front, but some of these Audis have put themselves up onto the top of the grid. We've seen in the last couple of rounds, so it's been good.
Well, it is going to be quite interesting, guys. The big news this week for the TCRs is that Scott Rattlegun Rankin has had to pull out of the series, so that's unfortunate. But it does mean that the Velocity SimLab boys of Doug Gowan and Dylan DeBono are going to be right at the front of the championship. Dylan missed last week. He's actually back this week once again to battle hard, and we can see that so far in the practice it is those two that are running P1 and P2.
It's going to be great to see whether Doug, he's been running great this series already. He is a winner from last year as well, so it'd be great to see if he can get back up to that top spot of the championship grid again by the end of the season. I mean,
well, he is currently leading the season, I believe. Let me have a look. Yeah. So currently looking at the ladder, so three rounds gone, and he has a 74 point lead over Matty Keane for Team Rattlegun there, and Max Donnelly is a further 21 points back there. So it's a big gap at the moment for Doug. Though remember, there will be a drop round available to the drivers, so their worst round won't be counted. So it does mean that you could be in front on paper as the weeks go by, and suddenly someone comes up out of nowhere when you take a real bombed performance off them.
Exactly right. We've seen some of these really fast guys. Dylan DeBono in round 1 had a very mixed one and just got caught up and stuff. And how much it's pushed him back down the points now. So, but he is very, very fast. So he'll be fighting to get himself back up again. So perfect example there, I think.
Well, he also missed last week, so last week would definitely be his drop round, and that's the main reason that we do have the drop round for these guys in the season, is that if you do miss a week, it doesn't completely ruin your championship. So we know that real life happens, and sometimes you've got to make little accommodations, when either you don't have the brownie points built up or there's an emergency. So
yeah, exactly.
These
right,
things happen.
Yeah. that's life for you, isn't it? And we got Mr.
It-
Tyson Styles. He's been having some great drives as well. So good to see him back in the Elantra tonight and pushing out some laps. Hopefully you see some pace for him tonight. Maybe he'll be able to push himself into the top 10, hopefully.
Well, it looks like we've got a good number. We've got, I think, 17 cars out on track at the moment, Toddy. So
Loving it.
I think that's more than enough for such a tight track here as Winton.
Oh, most definitely, especially when you start to get those sort of lapped cars or things start to happen. The back markers are quite hard if you're in the pointy end of the pack around Winton. It's quite hard to get past the back markers, isn't it, Cowy?
Well, this place is referred to as Australia's Action Track. I think I might have mentioned this before, but Dick Johnson once referred to this place as like running a marathon around your clothesline.
That's classic.
All right, so we can see that we're just coming towards the end of practice, only about 3 minutes left here. It is Doug Gowans, Dylan DeBono, Jack Rogers, Jake Edwards and Daniel Fritz, the top 5 in practice here. But one of the things about practice too is if there's a little off track or a 1X, it won't actually void their lap in practice, whereas in qualifying, it's a completely different thing. You get one of those 1Xs or more in qualifying, even a 0X in qualifying for a light contact, that would be enough to void your lap. So you can take these times as a sort of indication of people's pace out there, but it is, there could still be someone that's, suddenly put a ridiculous time out there because they've done a massive cut that managed to, avoid a slowdown. So
Most definitely got that. Pretty moderate temperatures on track here tonight, do you guys? Only 5% humidity and track temperature is only 21 degrees, so it should be pretty easy on the tyres here. But might be a bit touch difficult for these guys to work a bit of heat into the tyres in those first couple of laps.
Well, the thing about these cars, and you've said to me plenty of times before, Toddy, it's all about sort of trying to get the rear to rotate around. Lots of little sort of tiny, windy corners. I'd say in a couple of these sections, you can use the natural sort of flow of the car to help flick it. But in a few other places, you're going to be really struggling with that understeer beast that is, fairly common to these machines. Yeah,
most definitely. And this is definitely, if it's in a TCR, this is going to definitely test the boys in the TCR around here, I think, tonight. Especially towards the pointy end of the race. It gets pretty brutal on the arms in these TCRs and the front wheel drive, and how many braking zones you actually have and hard braking zones you have is also.
It's just the curbs. Oh, looks like the boss man, Mr. Sinkovich, is out on track once again in the out.
Oh, yes, no.
So that's awesome to see. I know he did say he wanted to try and jump in and drive this a bit. I know he had a bit of a tumultuous race last night in the V8 supercar. Well, that sprint format last night was pretty chaotic. But I must admit, it was absolutely exciting racing. And I mean, in the end, that's what we're here for at SRW TV. It's why Warren and Brown have joined us to partner and sponsor tonight's round. It's all about exciting racing. Don't forget, too, this is our Wednesday night double header. So, following the TCRs tonight, and this is a sprint format, we have the F3s that's following this. So, it's going to be, again, a big blockbuster night here at SRW TV. Now, Toddy, I did mention that it's actually a sprint round format tonight, buddy. So, we have a 20-minute heat race.
Yeah.
And that 30-minute feature has that wonderful reverse top 10 that we love. So let's just pick the smallest track in Australia to drive on tonight.
Yeah.
And let's just shuffle the deck and put the fast guys at the back a bit as well.
That was my exact thoughts, mate. That was my exact thoughts. I was like, mate, this is going to be interesting with that inverted top 10 because, mate, it's going to be hard for these guys to get around these guys. It's just such a difficult place to pass. So these guys are going to have to really put their balls to the wall and really, really step up to try and get around people.
Big hello to Drifter Wars out there on YouTube chat. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Driving in the bowl, you reckon? Though I do agree with you. It is a great track. It's just one of those crazy things. I said Bathurst for the F3s. All right, we've just got race control giving a bit of a review out there at the moment. All right, so they're just trying to remind people to, be aware that you've got someone on a fast lap coming through, obey those blue flags. I can see there one of my teammates, Cowy, maybe with a little dig at the boss. Where is Tyson McEvoy from Performance Sim Racing tonight? I think he might have got himself in trouble last week, and I believe he's serving a round ban for. And then he'll have to regret next week. So yeah, look, and he'd be the first to admit that he deserved it. He is race control, but again, the heat of the moment, we can jump on the radio and say some things maybe we shouldn't. You got to take your licks, I suppose, when that happens. So we're missing both Tyson and Scott Rattlegun here tonight, so it will be interesting to see who can jump up and throw the challenge at the Velocity Sim Lab boys. Toddy?
Most definitely, mate. It's going to shake it up a bit tonight, especially with Dylan De Bono back this week. That battle is going to be pretty hard out. Tyler Sheaf is finding some pace as well. We've seen him really improving as well. We've got Tyler Sheaf really pushing on along with Jack Rogers as well. We haven't really seen that much of Jack Rogers, but he's shown some definite pace in practice. So it'd be great to see what he does in qualifying.
Certainly will, buddy. He didn't have a great round last week. Was the last car on the lead lap, but just I think there was a few incidents there that he got involved with. But great to see him out there, and we'll have to see as these tyres come up to temp and see if the guys can start to put down those big lap times.
Have you got a favourite for tonight? Do you have a pick, or you think might be able to get up?
I think Matty Keane might be a bit of a dark horse. He is quite quick in a variety of cars, and it's shown that he's a really good racer. So and if there's anyone out there that's prepared to send it, I'd probably put Matty and Dylan in that category. So we're looking at Jack Rogers at the moment. He's running three purple sectors at the moment. So he's the early time runner here, maybe the first of these guys to get the tyres up to 10. Let's keep an eye out and see what sort of time he can put on the board here, because this will be the early benchmark. It is a
what a smoking lap.
128.5 there from Matty Keane, a 127.4 from Jack Rogers, so that is the early mark. About 9/10 ahead of Daniel Fritz, who just did a 28.3. This is early days, though, Toddy.
Yeah, it is very early days, isn't it?
It takes 2 or 3 laps to really get the tyres up to temp. Though, the one thing about tonight, because it is our sprint format, when the 15-minute qualifying ends, you don't get to finish your lap. There's about a 3-second delay after the timer hits 0, and then the session will be finished. Max Doherty just blinking in and out there a little bit, so we'll just have to keep an eye on his connection. One of the things that is a requirement for the drivers is that if they do have poor connections, you've got to try and deal with it yourself.
And as we know, it's a funny thing with iRacing as well. If somebody's kind of blinking out on internet, sometimes they're jumping up, 10 meters in the air sometimes on your screen. It's very distracting. So,
well, that's right. And yeah, look, you're having issues. If someone calls it out, you've got to pull over and try and sort your connection if there is anything you can do. I've had a couple of big USB disconnects on me that's frozen my computer for 10 seconds.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
Doug Gowan, 127.1 now, so that's a couple more tenths ahead of Jack's time.
Oh, Tyson Styles into the 26s, Cowy. Whatever. Oh, that is glad.
We did say it's early, buddy, so, these tyres now sort of finally coming up into that window. Jet Murray, if I pay now, can I get in on the racing, buddy? I think you probably have to try and sort it for next week. We'd have to talk to admin to see if they're still accepting entries for the TCR series. This is round 4. We normally sort of leave the first 2 or 3 rounds open, and then it generally closes from then on, so the guys can focus on the championship. But you won't know if you don't ask the question, buddy. Mr. Dead out there saying how Cowy. There's an R in there that probably shouldn't be, buddy. But thanks for the shout out. And Doug Gowan's now on 3 purple sectors, so he is pushing hard. This is our current series leader and previous season champion, so he's still on the money.
Oh, beautiful last sector as well.
Oh. All right, here we go, and here's... What's he done?
What's he done? Oh, 20. Oh, wow, he almost broke the 26 mark. Come on.
Is that a 26 flat? That is crazy. So we're going to have to keep an eye and see if anyone else can jump in and get near that number. But that is, what, 8, 9 tenths faster than anything else that's on the table at the moment. So
wow, just asserting a bit of dominance on the championship now in qualifying right now. And Rogers has just gone up to just done a 126.47, so he's gone 4 tenths, just 4 tenths slower than Gowan. So, oh mate, that's a pretty quick top 3.
It's certainly starting to build there, buddy. Well, as we said, we're about halfway through the qualifying session now, so you're not going to have too many more chances to get a lap down. Gowan's on purple sectors again, so he is in the zone and just finding more and more time out there.
Yeah, it seems like that little Veloz is pretty good around Winton.
Oh, it might have been a nice cheeky little pickup of a draft there. Rob, our Sater behind the scene, picking that one up. And he has further, he scored 25-7.
Whoa, 25!
Yeah, he's taken another 3 or 4 tenths out of it, so it is fast.
I can't believe that. I didn't think anybody would be able to get onto the 25, so I've been proved wrong. He's well smashed his way into the 25, so we'll see if the other boys can, how they reply to it.
Well, we can see a few drivers starting to move up the sort of middle of the leaderboard. We can see Tyson Styles sitting P3, Daniel Fritz up into P4 at the moment with a 27.20. So our top 3 cars all 26 or better. Matty Keane with a 27.25 in 5th. Greg Leake, who's been showing some really good pace here in the TCRs and right in amongst it. He's running P6 at the moment. And we're looking at, it was only about 3 or 4 tenths separating out all those guys. Let's keep an eye on Doug Gowan's as well at some point. He does have an orange sector, but a purple and an orange, so yeah, okay. So I think maybe that was a bit more of an exploratory lap, that one. And he's found somewhere that he could light up purple again, so there might be a few more tenths to come out of the next one, eh?
Yeah. Oh, mate. He's just absolutely smoking it. I think he's trying to prove something now. He might have gotten a...
Nah, he's just driving it. Yeah, so a tenth slower or so that lap with a 25.8. But, we're complaining that he was a tenth slower. So, have a look at Greg Leake only had the 1 green sector there, so he lost a bit of time. That was a, what did he do, a 28 flat that lap, so 27.6 for Greg at the moment, his best time. So we'll see now that these guys have put out some pretty good laps. So, and this is the part I always struggle, Toddy. Generally, I can, put a decent lap down fairly early on. It's when I'm trying to find another 2 or 3 tenths. You start pushing and you get up for a couple of tenths and then you might stuff the last sector because you're trying to bank those couple of tenths you found, So it can be quite nerve-wracking, and this is the guys that are good at this are the ones that, end up at the front and they get the cleanest track to deal with.
Most definitely, yeah. It's always difficult to hit those consistent laps late in qualifying, especially in quite a long qualifying as well. Not like your officials, you kind of get your 1 out lap and your 2 laps, and then you're done and dusted. You got to go with that. So you got a bit more time to kind of try and catch it.
Yeah, one of the things that happens to me is, the first time I go out and I'll absolutely nail the first sector. It'll be sector 2 and sector 3 are the ones that I'll stuff up. And then later on during my quali, I'll stuff sector 1. So it'll already show me 3 or 4 tenths behind the 8 ball. So for the rest of it, I actually ended up doing green sectors for me and maybe even purples, but I've given it all away at the start. So it's one of those things. It's hard to drive on the limit, pushing hard for the whole lap, and you know that's why I suppose they're quite a real race car driver.
Yeah. And it's always very tempting to go, oh, I'll just let off a little bit less this time on this corner. You know, oh, like that. Oh, Mr. Styles.
That was the curb of death here at Winton, and or the jump is the other thing they referred to around here. I don't know if they'd launch the TCRs quite like the V8. The V8 supercar can end up on its roof if you hit those things wrong. But you know, we've seen time and time again those curbs there can prove a destructive influence, and if they hit him tonight, that's easily where we can see a safety car. You just saw the front of that car completely broken and he had to tow. There's no way he would have been able to drive that back to pits.
Yep. And Doug Gowan with the sector 3, purple sector again. He's only got the last two sectors of purple, so he's still pushing 125s the whole time.
772, so
it's on a second. 100th of a second off his best. Wow, that is crazy, hey? Yeah.
Well, we're coming down to the last 3 minutes of qualifying at the moment. Max Donnelly, he was a podium runner P2 last week at Phillip Island.
Yeah, and the week before
P2 the week before at Knox Hill too. So yeah, he's been on the pace, running P7 at the moment because that qualifying time. He's done a 27.6, so he's got to find about 4 tenths. And looks like he's pulling out of it. So will he have enough time to get one more lap in? Probably not, because you really need to do a couple of laps to get the tyres up to temp. So this is probably one of those qualifying for TCRs where, you know, if you're not out on track and already done 2 or 3 laps, you're probably not going to go out at the end here. And we can see here there's already about 4 or 5 cars that have parked up. And we've got the other Mr. Sinkovich, Dean, joining tonight as well, so that is great to see. So we can put a bet on that like we used to, Toddy.
Yeah.
Getting up.
I'm thinking Steve. I'm picking Steve tonight.
It's a late arrival by
Dean. That's
Dean.
my reasoning.
So, yeah, okay, all right. Well, I'll have to go with Dean just to play the devil's advocate.
Fair enough.
But you're right. You know, Stephen's managed to put in a few minutes of practice. It's probably something fairly new for him.
We're on board with Dean Sinkovich as we speak. So hopefully he doesn't spin it. Oh, he's just doing a bit of TikTok low knowing. So
again, we've seen here that you can drive out of it with these cars, but obviously track limits are something you get penalised for by iRacing if you keep abusing them. But great to see him here and running the full sponsor livery for SRW here. Of course, our round sponsor for tonight is Warren and Brown Tools, but a big thank also to our other sponsors, Fast Track Enterprises, Racecraft, Grim Industries, Toyo Sim, Melville Equipment Corps, and Dragon RC, and of course the promo department and our safety car sponsor. All right, so we do have some purples. Doug, he keeps finding a purple here and there, but you can see now that he's starting to suffer from that same thing that I'd suffer from, you know, where he's had an orange in the first sector, so maybe down a tenth or 2. Then you have a blinder, and that brings you back up. And now he's gone orange again, so he's down a couple of tenths again. And maybe it's because he pushed a little bit too hard at the end of that second sector. That slows you down. So yeah, he has pulled out of it. But that's the thing. Dean Sinkovich has got all greens. Well, it's not surprising because it's his first lap out of the track. But there it is. We have come to the end of qualifying. And as I said, it ends right on the button. So, all right, race control just letting everyone know about the sprint format. And here is the grid for tonight's first race, the heat race. 20 minutes of mayhem around Winton. And it is Doug Gowans for Velocity Sim Labs with a 25.758, putting it on pole position. Tyson style for Crisscross Racing. A great drive there. Well, that is half a second back, so just shows you how much Doug had it dialed in here. But he has put a P2 on the grid for Crisscross Racing. And Jack Rogers has put it P3, just a 10th back there. So that is a great result there for Jack. We've got Matty Keefy Keen running a P4. Jake Edwards and Tyler Sheep sharing the third role in 5th and 6th. Daniel Fritz and Max Donnelly in the 4th row. Greg Leake and Greg Johnson, Team Greg for an all Team Greg row 5. Andrew Proctor and Blake Gallen. So Andrew Proctor just maybe a little bit off the pace. Mark Cochran and Tyrone Walsh running the 7th row. Mike Locke and Stephen Piccoli, and it is Dylan DeBono serving a rear grid, I would say, right at the back there. So 17 cars on track, maybe 19 with the 2 Sinkoviches. If they grid up, perhaps they're going to start from the pit lane. But it's going to be exciting, Toddy.
Oh, mate, this is going to be awesome.
And look at the cars lining up here. We're just waiting for the lights to get going. This is round 4 of our Touring Car TCR season here at SRW TV. All thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. We're just about to get going here. Watch out for the Audis on the start. They are the weapons off the line. Here come the orange lights. It is round 4. We are at Winton, and it is the battle for the Ashes. And here they go. Oh, that's one of the Audis is stored on the line. That was Jack Rogers. And you can see the cars had to avoid him. Quick action there, and I'm surprised there was no contact. You can see there, I think the 2 signatures coming out of the pit lane now. But our championship leader, Doug Gowans, has managed to get clear. And is that...
That's Keefy Keynes. He's made it up from 4th to 2nd. Whoa!
I did say to you I was calling him a dark horse, and that was a great start from Matty. P2, that is 2 positions off the line. Tyler Sheep also got an awesome start as well. He's up 3 spots, running in P3 at the moment. So
well, Jake Edwards would be happy with his 4th place now. He's moved up 1 spot, but he'll be very, very happy with that. Big contact.
Oh, Jake Edwards on Tyler Sheep there. That's
yes, the commentator there.
The rear of that car. That's probably, Tyler could probably deal with that damage on the rear. It's just whether there's damage on the front of Jake's car. Now, the other big mover at the moment, Dylan DeBono, is carving his way through the field. He's up 8 spots now, running inside the top 10. Starting 17th, he is 9th, so carving his way through.
Absolutely.
Was that someone going up the inside? I think that was Dean Sinkovic going up the inside of Greg Johnson. I saw there. That was a great, nice move. Yeah,
Mr. I think you might have picked it here. Dean's already up 11 spots, so my call on Steve might have been wrong, yeah?
Well, looks like, did Dean start from the pits? Oh, that's a good bit of jostle there. He's been forced a bit wide, and that's going to put him under the pressure of Tyrone Walsh. See if Tyrone's going to look for a path through here. Now, the last time we saw the TCRs here, Toddy, it was the short layout, so we didn't have that long straight.
Yeah, so that's right.
So that's a nice move from Jake Edwards trying to hold off Tyler. So I think it was Tyler putting pressure on. Jake did well to hang on there. Matt King, a little blink. Don't like to see that.
No.
Back down
just noticed Greg Leake has actually made his way into the pits, so I'm not sure what's happened there. He might have had a bit of a moment there, which has given Dean Sinkovic that opportunity to get by him. So he's put himself into the pits. So
having a look at Matty King's teammate here, Michael Locke for SLM Motorsports, running in 14th at the moment. He's up 1 spot, so didn't get a great start there off the line, but right in the thick of the battles. And as we said, you know, there is quite a contact there.
Rogers between Donnelly.
Yeah, he's got out of it. Not that was smart, but a little bit of contact there from the Audi runners. But, he's going deep, getting hold of that little curb bump. No, he's done well.
Wow,
but that's also great driving from Max as well. That Dylan DeBono right at the back of this pack as well. So
yeah, just profiting on it. So I think this battle between Dylan DeBono and Max is going to be pretty insane now because he's right on the back of him. I mean, no, Dylan's got a lot of pace, so.
Tyson Styles and Jake Edwards, Brad Newman telling up those boys. Well done, and get into him, Adam Hughes. Thanks, Brad.
Whoa, who's that? Goes Rogers off track, into the wall, death corner. Oh, and Max
Wow.
Donnelly having a bit of blinking as well.
Keep an eye out because that may well mean a safety car. We'll have to keep an eye out on the radio.
It didn't look like a car on a roof though, which is good. Seemed like he just hit too much curb, I think, and he's just spun it out.
Inside.
Doug Gowans has had a crash. Doug Gowans.
Okay. So there's a Mose that Matty Keane attacking Doug there. We might have to try and have a look at a replay and see what's happened there. Rob, okay, here we go. So maybe go to an outside camera. That was after what's...
Wow.
Was Doug Gowans? No. So
just Gowans on screen now.
okay,
He stunned himself.
Okay. Maybe it's that contact there. So we'll have to keep an eye out if that is a punishable offence. Let's go me, Tyson. Oh wait, yes, you were a naughty boy, buddy. So take your licks. You know, seeing you, you know, running the race control in there on other nights, buddy. I'm sure you know more than anyone else that, you know, when you get your licks, you just got to take it.
Yep, 100%.
Oh, okay, so we've got to have a look and see what happened to Jack Rogers here. Okay, so he just lost the rear, gone deep.
He broke on the curb there. He was still braking on the curb. That second part.
The car was there. The rotation would have been impossible to stop it there. But I think maybe what might have saved him is there were tyres there and not a concrete wall. So there may not be as much damage as we think on that. To keep an eye on that. Okay, so Dylan DeBono is now up into P5. So looks like he has got a pass done on Tyler Sheep while we were away. Going up to the front, it is Jake Edwards putting the pressure on Matty Keane, and Doug Gowans is getting back on this battle as well after his little mistake. All right, nice and deep there from Jake. You can see the guys pushing hard because that's what you've got to do to make a move around here.
Most definitely, but it's definitely played into Jake Edwards' hands. But he's got some serious pace, and he'll be wanting to have some redemption from the last couple of weeks as well. So, yeah, pushing hard, especially probably one of his favourite tracks as well.
He did manage a podium finish in, I think, the heat race at Knock Hill, but has been absent from the sort of podium the last couple of weeks. So he'd be looking to maximise this. And look at the run he's got.
He's getting a car out.
Okay, was that race control just mentioned something there? Look at that, it's the over-under. Has he got it done? He has. Looks like he's staying over to the right. Yeah, that's it. Doug Gowans he was sitting in behind there going, okay, see if that door stays open for me. And looks like Matty Keane had to slam it shut quite quickly there. Otherwise he would have lost another place. But this is a great battle. And Todd, look at this. We can see what happens when you start getting cars battling. They end up slower, and what does that mean to everyone else behind?
Almost definitely, mate. It makes our lives a lot more interesting because everyone just catches up real quick.
Well, that's right. So we did have a two-way battle, or we had a leader out in front, then a two-way battle. Now we're looking at this going to be becoming a five-car battle very, very soon. Doug Gowan has got a bit of a run here, and Matty Keane. Matt's gone to the inside to defend immediately. And you can see there, yeah, just driving sort of middle track to really... Okay, Doug's going to come in and hit. That's interesting.
Oh, so that was...
hang on.
That was
it's a drive-through. It's a drive-through penalty, so he did get penalised for that unsafe rejoin. And again, although it may look like wasn't a big incident, if that hit Matty Keane's tyres in a way that he's now driving with a degree of left hand or right hand down, then his car's damaged, and that's ruined his race. So, all right, we're going to jump on board and have a look at Matty Keane here. We might stay quiet for a moment so if you want to turn up the sounds and listen to what a TCR sounds like from the inside. Here we go. looks like I'm going to have to interrupt that beautiful music there, Toddy, as Max Donnelly has also received a black flag for contact as well on lap 5. So Max was having a great run up near the front, and now it's going to put him right to the back. And so, well, our championship leader, race number 1, right at the back. Does he have enough time to get up to 10th? At the moment.
Well, he was about 5/10 faster than the closest person to him in qualifying. So, you know, he's got a bit more pace than everybody, so he might be able to catch him up. So,
well, we'll have to see if he can get the job done and make his way through. But he will be looking to try and get that P10 so he gets the all-important front row start for our feature. On board with Tyler Sheep at the moment, so Tyler's gone backwards a couple of spots off the grid. He had a blinder start there early on, so I don't know if he might have been the recipient of a bit of contact there that those black flags were issued for. But now back in P8 and has got to fight his way back up again. Okay, Andrew Proctor on the radio, so he's had an incident as well. Currently 4 positions behind. We're on board with Greg Johnson at the moment, watching him attack Tyler Sheep. We can see the damage on Tyler's rear of his car there, with sort of dented fender, I suppose. But I don't think it's going to hurt these things too much. Maybe a bit of aero. Dylan DeBono has now got onto the back of this lead battle pack. So Dylan is one of those drivers that we'll definitely sure as hell that he will send it around here.
Most definitely. He's very, very quick in anything, really.
Okay, so Matty King does have bent steering thanks to that Contagious. I sort of assumed maybe the same. Matty Gerard, evening boys, go to the Velocity Sim Labs. Where are you, Matty? You're normally out there mixing it with them. So unfortunately couldn't make it here tonight, buddy. But this is a great battle, and we can see that Dylan is going to go full send mode here. Oh, it's that Tyson Styles. We're going to get up
in the back. Oh, that was Jake Edwards.
No, that was Tyson Styles there, I think. Yeah. Yep. And looks like he's actually managed to hang on to it, I think. So he's about 3 or 4 tenths behind Dylan now. Yeah, but that's a pretty good save from Tyson. Did cost him a spot, but he's retained the sort of... He's retained, you know, contact with his battle pack.
Yeah, most definitely. And he didn't want to lose touch with these guys because we know how strong the draft is in these cars. But Mr. Dylan DeBono up 14 positions now. We know he's quick, and he's going to push and push and push. He's
Stephanie Piccoli, something happened to Stephanie as well. I saw her have a crash, splashed up on SDK, and that has put her to near the back.
We got Mr. Dean Sikovic still in 9th place. He's had a little bit of an off track, it seems, but he's kept it all together. Up 13 spots, so great drive from him so far.
Dylan pushing hard here, and Matty is fighting. Oh, so Matty Gerard, you're working so you can buy some more sim gear. I understand, buddy. Matty Keane is, look at that car, looks like it's crabbing a little bit on him too, so he's driving this thing as hard as he can. But yeah, saw that when he was driving down the straight there, he's having to correct the car. That's because of that bent steering that they're talking about. You can see it there.
Yeah, you can definitely see it sketching all over the place, isn't it?
Well, it's about 10 minutes into our 20-minute heat, so he's got to deal with this for another 10 minutes. And you can see it there, look at it. Oh, well, we have a request to tow. We could well have a safety car here, and that might be something Matty Key might take advantage of. Does he want to keep track position, or does he want to fix the car?
We got Doug Gowans up into 9th as well now, so he'll start at the pointy end of the grid for the restart.
Well, let's see what's happened. Wait to hear if race control is going to make the call.
It's going to be interesting. There is a lot of runoff around here, but it is very, very narrow around here as well.
Was that the safety car called then with race control?
Yes. Yes, it seems. No, not yet. We haven't got a call yet.
I heard something on the radio, but I don't know if he called it out, but I can't see anything in the chat. So perhaps that car's just been given permission to tow so we can stay with the action. And it was Tyson Styles. It was Tyson Styles that was the one that had to tow, so... Alright, Dean up the inside, trying to... Doug Gowan's getting the move done on Dean Singerich there, yep, so...
Beautiful move. Very smooth driving from Doug tonight. We've seen him just force his way to get his way back through the pack again now after that drive-through penalty for that small bit of contact.
More importantly for Doug, it puts him back up inside that top 10, so he will be able to take advantage of the reverse grid. And Jack Rogers got a drive-through penalty for an unsafe rejoin. So it is all happening. Race Control really having to flex their muscles tonight. Look, as I sort of said to the boys last night, Toddy, with the V8s, we had quite a few incidents as well in the V8s. But all of them were the guys trying to make passes, trying to make moves. You know, so I wasn't just missing your brake marker and run up the back of someone. The contact was there. It was because you were trying to make a pass. This is such a tight track that, as I said, you've really got to either force a mistake or send it to have a chance at making a move. So, you know, in a way, at a place like Winton, you know, having all of these incidents and black flags is probably a compliment to the field because it means everyone's having a go.
Yeah, most definitely. And in the V8s, we know they're not small cars as well compared to these TCRs, so there's a lot less room to even pass than there is with these little cars, you know?
Yes, but the one thing about the V8 is too, you give it a bit of gas to get it turned. With these things, it's a lot harder.
You're fighting understeer all the time in these things, yeah.
That's it.
But you're fighting the complete opposite with the V8, really, isn't it? You're trying to fight that oversteer a lot of the time.
So this is Dylan DeBono up 15 positions, running P2 at the moment, chasing down Jake Edwards. Jake Edwards on for a W at the moment, so he's not going to give it up. Still 7 minutes left. Greg Johnson's had a moment, and he's run wide, and that looked like it was over near the curbs of death. Oh, Doug Gowans is on the radio, so there's contact here. Here we go. So,
Greg Johnson not giving room.
Oh, that's pretty tight there, Greggy.
Oh, he killed it! Oh!
He did pretty well then. That's pretty good driving. Good recovery there from Greg. We'll have to see what Race Control's got to say because there wasn't a lot of track for Doug there, so Greg might find himself in a bit of trouble. It is Dylan DeBono at the moment trying to close this gap. It is down to 1 second now. Matty Keane has fallen off the back. 4.3 seconds with that damaged steering, but he's going to try and see if he can hang on to the last spot on the podium. And Dylan DeBono has set the fastest lap of the race with a 25.4. So that's down near the qualifying time that Doug set to start off the season tonight. That is crazy.
And that tells you, look at the draft. That's how much the draft makes a difference as well right here, guys, you know?
Well, you can see Jake using all of the road and maybe a bit of dirt there, trying to get a great right angle to take speed through the corner. And we can see Dylan here really trying to straight line as much as he can so he can catch up. On board with Tyrone Walsh here, chasing down Greg Johnston.
And Tyrone's up 4 positions from his starting position. One of the other SLM boys. Great to see them all out there.
He's also in P10 at the moment, Toddy, so we know what that means. Same as it is. He'll find himself in front of the feature. So, wow.
It's not an easy... It's not an easy spot to find yourself though in, is it? Yeah, you're kind of used to running in like 10th and then all of a sudden you're in first for the next race. It's hard on the nerves to make sure you get a good start, right?
Andrew Proctor looking to try and up the inside of Michael Locke here. You are right, Teddy. I mean, one of the things, it's all about how you handle the pressure. And yes, you know, we are talking about a simulation. It's not a real... Oh, he's gone deep there.
Yes.
Get Andrew switch back. We'll have to see. No, they're side by side, I think, at the moment, because he's had to take a wide line, but he will have the inside line for the hairpin. A little bit of contact.
Teammates not pulling any punches. Yeah, Mickey Lockins. No, come on, second best there. It's dropped down 2 positions.
There might have been a little bit of contact there with the way the car stepped out. But Stephen McCartan calling out Tyson Styles, go get him, and Jake Edwards. Well, Jake is having an absolute ball-tearing race at the moment. He's got 0.4 of a second over Dylan DeBono now, so Dylan is sort of keeping that gap close, but so far, no mistakes from Jake. The Whitey's Pie entries going
Precious
look at
big
that.
piled on here. Car 10 requested to go.
Oh no,
That's
so what happened to
Michael
Michael Locke?
Oh, that would have been that contact before.
Is that what damaged the car? Perhaps.
It'll be interesting to see that one. Oof.
We are going to be, it's going to be, there's lots of interesting things going on out here at the moment, buddy.
So no safety car for that one, but just
generally, generally within the last sort of 2 minutes, they don't do it, because otherwise it's going to bring, so go look at this run here. It's about as close as you can get, and Dylan pulls out. I think he was hoping that Jake might cover there.
Oh, come on, I've just noticed our top 7 are all in Hyundais. Oh, wow. So it's definitely a bit of an advantage around this track, as we've seen the places like
Seem to be, buddy, yeah. I think you're right. Though, mind you, the majority of the field are driving the Hyundai, so we do have the 2 different Hyundais. It's the Elantra and the Veloster. So there's 2 cars to choose from in that, so that does show you why. There's more. All right, so Doug Gowan has made his way up into P5 so far, so he's minimising or trying to take advantage of what happened to him at the start there. You can't do anything about it. He's taking that drive through, but he's fighting his way back. Dylan DeBono right on the back of Jake Edwards here. We are almost inside the final 2 minutes, so he's probably only going to get a couple more laps here to try and get this move done.
Then you've really got a couple of probably about 4 opportunities left to actually get anything done now.
Oh, he's pulled out the inside. He thought about trying to send it up there, but Jake is going deep.
Oh, how was there not contact there? That was crazy.
Well, he certainly was sending it. I think that was Barney waving the white flag, was it?
That is.
Oh no, that's the checkered flag. So that was the final lap. Wow, I thought we had one more to go, but that was a awesome attempt from Dylan DeBono there to try and get the W. But no, it is Jake Edwards that runs away with the victory in the first of our races here in the TCR tonight. It is our Super Tuesday. We have sprint round TCRs, so double TCRs, and then we have a normal 60-minute race at Mount Panorama for the F3s coming up on SRW TV. So we've got the guys coming through, finishing their laps now, and need to get round to that cool down area before they can exit. Alan Dawson saying Jake Edwards goated. Well, he has done awesome, Jake. He's held off Dylan. That on board there, it almost looked like we were inside the bonnet, or the boot of Jake's car there. But perhaps just the camera angle telling that, because we did not see any step outs or contact by the looks of it.
And it's great to see Matty Keane being able to hold on to his 3rd place in that race as well, because we know he was crabbing there for about half of that race. Yeah, so.
All right. There may be a post-race thing there for the next race being issued. I was listening to race control. But here are the results of our first race for tonight here for the TCRs. It is Jake Edwards for Crisscross Racing coming away with the victory. Dylan DeBono for Velocity Sim Sports in P2. And Matty Keane with that damaged steering managed to hanging on to 3rd position for SLM Motorsports. Now, we do have Jake Edwards in the green room, so let's bring him down and have a chat to our heat winner for tonight, Jake. Dylan was breathing down your neck pretty hard there at the end, buddy, but you held him off.
Oh, mate, he made me sweat up a storm, didn't he? I want to have an easy one, but I knew he was coming pretty hard, and the Bono in these things, he's just next level, man.
So we saw him playing peekaboo games with you there a bit earlier, those last couple of laps, trying to get you to take the inside line. That was a trap, but you saw that.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling what he was trying to do, as I was trying to do the exact same thing to Matt Keane. So, yeah, I had a feeling what he was trying to do.
Well, how is the understeer in these things around here tonight? Because it looks like they're a fair bit of effort to get them turned. And
Mate, they're yeah, the understeering these things are so hard to like wind out as well in the car because like you can either run like stiffer anti-roll bars and whatnot, but then it makes you like rear super slidey under brakes.
so there was a bit of contact amongst the boys out there. Doesn't phase you, mate. It's just a bit of hard racing. I know that a few people fell
we love.
afoul of race control, but
Yeah,
I suppose you got to send it, don't you?
that's it, man. You need to rub some panels in these things, I reckon. Bit unfortunate for Doug Gowan, but with his rejoin, I know how hard these things are to regather them up once you're on the grass. So yeah, bit unfortunate for him, but I'm sure he'll come back in race 2.
Well, that's it, buddy. Well, you're going to be P10, so I think he's actually going to be in front of you. So you're going to be chasing him down, buddy. But but it was an awesome drive from you. So have you got any questions for Jake here, Toddy? And before we get into, let us know who's giving you all of his support.
Oh, mate, just one. How are you going to tackle this second race, being in 10th? Just going to try and we should hope for the best, or much of the same?
Big sends, mate, I reckon.
Okay,
big sends in the turn 1. That's how we do it.
Awesome.
Right.
Try and get a
Cool,
good
awesome.
launch. See how we go.
Awesome.
Well, buddy, you have put Crisscross Racing back up on the top step for our first heat race tonight. So let us know who's giving you boys all the great support out there.
That's it, man. Sean Scenery, basically crisscross all of us as well. Whitey's Pies, like to thank Ryko Performance for the setup tonight as well. They're outstanding with their setup, so jump on board with them, I reckon, because they're pretty bangers.
Awesome, mate. Well done once again. And you better go out there and maybe, do you need to make any changes to the setup for this next race, do you think?
I might try and just get the front of the turn in a little bit, man. I'll see how I go, but yeah, roughly, I don't know. I was seeing pretty comfortable in that race, so.
Well, let us not hold you back any longer, buddy. Well done on race number 1. Race 2 in front of you. Well done. That is Jake Edwards for Crisscross Racing, our race 1 winner.
Cheers, boys.
Good luck, bro.
Well, Toddy, it's a bit of the calm before the storm, isn't it?
Oh, no. This is going to be an absolute cracker. I reckon there's going to be some nervous heads sitting in their sims right now, eh? Oh.
Well, as I said, man, look, I don't mind seeing a few sort of the flags getting issued there by race control because it shows that the boys are prepared to send it. You're saying, okay, you had wobbles in the wheel after contact with Doug. Fair enough there from SLM Gaming. Mick Clifton was also with a shout out to Go Gallon, Go Pickley, Go Cochrane. I know Stephanie had a bit of a moment. I think we missed it on the stream. So I have to keep an eye on her in race number 2 because she's going to have a fair bit of, she's going to be about P6 or so, or no? I think she was outside the top 10 for race number 1.
Yeah.
But we will keep an eye and see how we go. But we are certainly thankful for your support out there in YouTube and Facebook land. Of course, if you are enjoying the content, please give us a like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our great racing here at Sim Racing World TV. Well, Toddy,
racing here, don't we? As you're about to see.
Yeah, I race Tuesdays, Fridays when I can, and Sundays. So there's 3 leagues for me. I know that quite a few of the other commentators and race controllers are out there racing. So
I race on Thursdays and the 86s as well.
Yeah, there you go. That's what. So we try to be a part of it, and we want everyone to come and join us here at SRW and join the Great League Racing. As you can see, it's pretty friendly. Yeah, people get fired up, but that's just racing as far as I'm concerned. All right, here we have cars starting to grid up for our feature race here tonight. It is Tyrone Walsh that will have the pole position. And alongside of him will be Greg Johnson for Red Energy Racing, or Team Greg. Tyler Sheep for Whiskey Runners. Dean Sinkovich running P4, so I don't think Stephen actually made the grid in the last race, Toddy, so I don't know if that bet can really stand for anything. Blake Gallen, Doug Gowans, that's a good recovery from Doug after his drive-through penalty. Daniel Fritz, 7th, Matty Keenan, 8th. Dylan DeBono 9th, Jake Edwards 10th. So we're going to be still seeing the fast guys at the back. Dylan DeBono's going to have to carve his way through. We've got the cars coming on. They're about to go green. And here we go. As the lights come on and they are away. Looks like a much better start from our leaders this time. Who's that making a great move up the... I think that might have been Dylan DeBono trying to make a move. That's... so Jake Edwards up the inside, trying to make a move there into T1 as well. The cars all clustered together here. Josh in position, bit of contact there.
Oh, we got Matty King trying to go on the inside.
It was Jake Edwards up 3 spots at the moment, so he's made a great launch.
And then we've got Matty Keane just going down the inside of Daniel Fritz, trying to make his way through as Dylan DeBono, trying to stay with Dylan DeBono. I'm sure that's what he's trying to do.
And Doug Gowan's also the jump off the line. He's up 3 spots at the moment, running in P3. The Grandpa, he calls himself.
Grandpa Gowans. He's not exactly slow on track though, is he? Oh, Jake Edwards getting Toddy on the back of that car. Blake Gallen having a nice little run, just trying to stay on the back of Jake Edwards, trying to use that draft to stay out of trouble by the looks.
Alright, so...
Oh, so Greg Leake's had a moment at the back there.
Someone's gone deep there too, wasn't it? The Greg Leake at the back there. Who was that dropped back there? I think that was Matty Keane back in. He's in 8th at the moment, so he made a jump and then missed it out. And Blake Gallen's had an off as well. Dean Singovich has had an off. Who's that coming into the pits?
Ooh.
Oh no, he isn't coming into the pits. He's ended up out on the grass.
Oh no, hey. Was
Dylan DeBono up into P6 now, so he's up 3 spots as well. It is Doug Gowans is up into P2 now, so he's got the job done on Tyrone Walsh. Must have missed that one.
Wow, he's out for blood, isn't he? He wants to get this one straight up into first place. Gowans into first. Beautiful move on the inside.
Oh, just having a look at the race control messages and that, and car 01 will have a 20-point post-race penalty for contact with car 61. So that's a bit unfortunate.
For Doug Gowans.
For Doug Gowans, yeah. So 20 points, that will take a fair chunk of the change out of the points from tonight's race. Dylan DeBono going up the inside of Jake Edwards there. So that's a nice move. Though Jake himself has had a pretty good start to this point as well. He's up 4 spots. So both those guys pulling hard, and maybe a reverse from the result for race number 1. Matty Keane, he's up a spot now.
And Dylan trying to make the move on Tyler Sheaf as well already.
Well, this is where, when the field's bunched together, you got to try and make your moves. Now, who's that? That's going deep into
Jake
the
Edwards and Dylan DeBono.
I think it was Stephanie Piccoli that ran deep there in the background as well that we saw.
Oh, so she's not having a fun night around Winton tonight by the look of it. Blake Gallen also off track as well. That's he's spent a couple of moments off track already. So, and one of the Whitey's cars off in the background as well.
While Cold Tyres trying to send it around here, it's not an easy proposition. We can see here there's a great battle pack in the middle here. There's that Jake Edwards, Matty King, Tyson Styles, Daniel Fritz, all involved in this. Tyler Sheep at the front of the pack, and there's a pack of hunting dogs behind him. Look at it.
And look at that, it's given Max Donnelly opportunity and Jack Rogers to get an opportunity to get up on the back of these guys as well. We know both of these guys have got some real pace, so well, mate, this is awesome.
Well, there's a fair bit going on.
Oh, is Jack Rogers going to be able to make this move happen on the other fellow Audi of Max Donnelly?
Well, this is the battle for P10 at the moment, or P9 actually. Daniel Fritz in front of, this is Jack Rogers behind, so Jack Rogers had, was that a drive-through penalty, I think, that put him down the pack and is now having to fight his way through. But a nice battle going on here at the moment on the end of that train, and that is a long train, Toddy.
It is. We've got a drive-through penalty for car 16 as well, so it just comes through on race control.
Oh. So car 16. Who's car 16?
There is no car 16 on there, are they? Did they mean 15? Did I hear that wrong? That would have been 15. That's 15, sorry. That's Thorburn, yeah. Drive through for that.
He's just coming through the pits now, and again, that camera making it look like we're going inside the car in front.
Oh.
It is very close battles going on here.
Yeah,
He's got the inside run, as long as he doesn't float out. A bit of contact.
Oh, nothing too serious, though.
It's just that understeer floating wide. I mean, that good battle's going on. Look at this, about 10 cars here, so this battle is on for young and old. It's that Matty King up at the inside of Tyson Styles there, I think. And Daniel Fritz looking to try and take advantage of that as well. So this is great little battles, and this is what you live for when you're a sim racer. Yours, that Matty King ran wide there.
Yes.
Tyrone Walsh that ran wide. Yeah, both running similar liveries there, the SLN boys. Oh, that's put him right back to the pack.
Oh, Jake Edwards taking a bit of an excursion off track as well in the Whitey's bike car.
It's all happening. And that's what we love it here. We did see the race chat messages there, Greg, so hopefully that's all good. Yeah, it's car 15. Yeah, no, that's up in the race control chat. So race control just trying to let us know what's going on out there so we can relay that information to you guys. But it is round 4 tonight at Winton Raceway here for the touring cars. Our great series here at SRW, and again all brought to you thanks to Warren Brown Tools.
Legends. Oh wow, look at the gap. That Gallants has gone onto Bono now, Cowy. 4 seconds, mate. That's crazy.
How is he just... Dylan had to battle his way through there, Todd, so that's why. Yeah. And now you can see that he's got clear. He's now built up a couple of seconds on Greg back in 3rd. So we can see
he's
that
definitely done well to break that toe in these cars. Very well done.
Well, both those boys are pushing hard. Now it'll be interesting to see if Dylan attacks Doug, if he can get close enough. It is a 30-minute feature race here tonight, everyone. But that's a great move. And Jack Rogers getting up the inside of Max Donnelly there, so that's a great move there. That was the one that got me in trouble last night, Toddy. I hit the curb and rotated the car. But we can see here's that Tyler Sheik trying to hold the inside.
Oh, Max just putting his elbows out. Come on, son.
I think that's Tyler Sheep in front of her. We're on board. Oh no, we are on board with Jack Rogers. So yeah, it's Tyler Sheep, one of the whiskey runners, and that was fighting hard for that position. He wasn't prepared to give it up, buddy. And held on.
We can see a little bit of a, it's not the straightest bumper on the back of that thing, so he's definitely defending hard, but we can see at the back of the other Audi as well, of Jack Rogers has got a bit of a ding in the back of it as well. Oh, Fritzy getting a bit sideways over that curb, see that? Ooh. Oh,
that's a hallmark of the TCRs though, buddy. Just stay in it and drive out of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly right.
There was that Tyler just trying to keep a tight line so that Jack couldn't get a run on him. Was that almost contact? And you can see the rear of Tyler's cars has it. It's got those dents in it again. Didn't we see those dents in Tyler's car last race?
Yeah, we did. I think Jack thinks it's pushed past.
Danny Fritz has had a wide one there as well, so the teammate there going a bit wide, and Tyler's been able to go through, and look at that. Jack trying to take advantage, but Daniel Fritz, was that Tyler maybe? I don't think Tyler was slowed him down just to help Daniel there, but I wouldn't put it past team tactics. It's one of the things you can do when you've got a teammate out there.
Well, we did see 2 corners there. He ran a little bit wide on 2 of those corners, Daniel Fritz, so, I think it was kind of more his own fault than anybody else's.
Yeah, right.
But, he's under a lot of pressure, so.
Because your momentum and everything, so yeah, you're right.
Car 88, black flag.
Oh, is he run... Car 88, is he run out of incident points by the looks of it? So I think we're allowed up to 25 incident points. So if you get that number 25, there will be a drive-through penalty. So... Alright, so we're going to have a look and see what's happened here. Oh, he's just skipped wide.
Oh,
Slid it through. But he was never pulling that up. Ah, no, that's why he's got the
oh,
black.
wow.
So it's not an incident point one. That's a black flag, and it's a stop and hold. I think by the looks of it too. So that's going to hurt. Yeah, you've got to try and cut back on. You just can't cut a second track out. All right,
Yeah.
does not let you get away with that at all.
Just rubbed salt in his own wounds, didn't he?
All right, so we've
Bloody
seen
Phoenix
maybe the
pit.
first of the pit stop runners. That's 9 minutes into this race, so I'm sure that would be inside the window. I know that when we were talking with the boys tonight, when they were mucking around with setups and that, it's 25% fuel for tonight's race. And I know for a couple of setups of the guys, it actually meant that their setup failed. So they had to make a few changes to get it to work with such a light fuel load.
Yeah, always a difficult one, hey? And then trying to work out your numbers from there as well, but it's a 25%. Because it's always like, it always works out to like a, 24.9 litres of fuel or whatever, so it makes it a little bit harder to difficult to work out sometimes on the fly.
Something big has happened to Dean Sinkovich as well there, because he's now in the pits. But he was already well back and a lap down before that pit, so...
Yeah, because Dean had an off track, and then Matty says Matty Keane had a crash, and then Dean Sinkovich had a crash when he's come back off onto track, so...
Well, Doug Gowans is running clear of everything at the moment.
Oh, 7
So...
seconds.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, just under 6 seconds, yeah.
But look at this
Crazy.
train. This is a nice train going on at the moment.
Yeah,
How many cars
Fritzy's
got
still
involved here, mate?
elbows out, mate. Fritzy's doing well to get his elbows out, keeping his 7th position from his starting position. So he's gone up and down a few spots, so but back where he started. So it's good to see him. We've got Tyrone Walsh and Jack Rogers into the pits now. Whoa! We see Leaky down the inside of Proctor. He's going to be able to make this stick. Oh, he's going to get out of it. Be safe. Yeah, especially coming into Death Corner. Oh, Mickey Locke's had a bit of a moment off track as well, Cowy. Wow, it's all happening now. Just getting a bit of tyre wear on the tyres now, guys. Oh, Proctor getting very sideways. And Leaky almost pouncing on him there. We got Keefe Keane. Matty Keane's back out of the pits, back out on track. He's in 11th, so he's got a bit of a gap behind to these guys. Quite a fair gap, but he's still trying to find his way back after that early incident.
Well, that's it. So having a look at the two Whitey Pies entries at the moment. Is that Tyson Styles and Jake Edwards at the moment run P4 and P5 at the moment. So, but they are about 15 seconds behind Doug Gowans. Greg Johnson running P3 at the moment, so he's a big beneficiary there as well. Well, I think Greg, he started P3 or P4 on the grid, so he's the one of the front runners from the start of this race. That's actually
he started on P1 actually, bro, and he had a great start. He just got kind of gobbled up by the other two fast guys. But for him to be able to hold these guys off and stay with them, mate, what an effort, mate.
Well, I've said before that Team Greg have actually had some good results in the TCRs and showed some good pace, both Greg Johnson and Greg Leaker, so I'm sure they're enjoying themselves out there at the moment.
Yeah, great to see him in those beautiful, beautiful liveries as well. And Mickey Locke back on track after that earlier moment, but he is still 3 positions higher than where he started.
Oh, is that Andrew Proctor coming into the pits at the moment? He's just coming out now, so he's done his pit stop and will rejoin in 13th position. So, but
Definitely.
it is the grandpa Doug Gowans that is running away with this race at the moment. He has a 6.5 second lead ahead of Dylan DeBono, his teammate. So, and he's just done a 25.6 fastest lap of the race as well.
In clean air, that's crazy. By himself, just out there smashing laps. Yeah, no toe, no nothing, just, yeah.
Look at this, Jack Rogers trying to make a move here on Mark Cochran. Put the pressure on. This is good driving, good respect from both these guys.
Very close race, a bit of, yeah, very.
Mark's just making sure he takes the inside line there. And now it's all about the slingshot in from Jack. He's got up. That's a great little launch there from Jack.
Definitely got a better exit, didn't he?
Well, he'll have to get this done around the outside, or he's going for the over-under. There it is, the over-under, and he's got a nice exit there. So, again, straightening off the exit so that you can get on the gas a bit earlier. But has he done it enough? No. See, it gets him alongside, and the battle continues. But I think Mark probably yielded that at that point, so he's felt like he's battled that hard, and but a great move there done by Jack.
Brilliant move. And we've had Greg Leake and Max Donnelly go and make their pit stop as well. So it seems like they've had a bit of an off track that has caused that. So I'm not sure if it's a planned pit stop from either of them.
Well, it's one of those things that maybe, again, I don't think, like if it was V8s, let's say you damage your tyres, maybe you go up and pit a bit early, take advantage of that. But rarely do we see guys going for tyres in this. I reckon maybe Tyrone Walsh and Blake Gallen, they're the two guys that have got pit stop times of over a minute. They took tyres. 54 seconds for Dean Sinkovich, so he may well have taken tyres too, whereas the rest of the stops are sort of hit the sort of 20s and 30s.
And Blake Gallen had to do that. He went over his incident points as well, didn't he? So I think he had to do the stop and go. That might have added to that too, yeah.
Yeah, you're right there, I think, Toddy.
Yeah.
So,
cool guy.
but at the moment, there's a nice battle going on here. Is we've got Tyler Sheep, Daniel Fritz here, teammates. So at the moment, maybe working together to try and get themselves up on the back of Tyson Styles. We'll have to see if Daniel's prepared to send it on his teammate. It's generally okay as long as you don't hit him.
Yeah, exactly right. And you both give each other some respectful enough space, right?
Well, it's one of those things, generally, if you're on the chat, I mean, there's the chat with the team and that. There was, I think it was Knock Hill, there was an incident where a couple of times I was in behind my teammate Jerry and got a run down the straight, and I'd say to him, mate, I've got to run on you, I've got to run you, I'm up the inside, you know, and he knows I'm there, and then the next lap he gets a run and we swap back again. So,
yep. And all that time you're just getting faster and catching those guys in front of you, right?
Well, that's right, it can be a tactic. Oh, 93's done a cut of the track as well. So that's... and that's... Tyson's running in P5 at the moment, so that's going to crush his result tonight. So let's have a look and see what he's done. I think we're
the same place as Blake Allen, I think.
No, he's not there, and he's he's rejoined up here and completely missed the... he's gone for the short turn, and and then that iRacing does not let you do that. So a couple of people may be looking for a little bit of an exploit in the rules there, and iRacing is, we can say our race controllers are not the only one with the long hard hammer of the law. iRacing itself's got that coded into the simulation.
Yeah, he will not get away with it.
So the dark side is strong here. So.
Exactly right. X marks the spot, doesn't it? I can't believe Doug's still pushing further out, pushing his lead out further again, and now he's just done the best lap of the race once again this lap with a 125.45. Wow, this guy's insane. Wow.
25.45 for Doug, 25.65 for Dylan DeBono. So they're both pushing hard, both teammates, but there's about 6 or 7 seconds between them. So it's definitely going to be, we'll have to see if that battle is actually going to eventuate, because there's a fair gap. Well, there's a fair gap between them, and they're both sort of driving hard. So when you only swap at a couple of tenths, it's been hard to make up 6 seconds. But who knows? We are 18 minutes into our 30-minute feature race here for the TCRs here at Winton Motor Raceway. Daniel Fritz coming into the pits, so he's doing his scheduled pit. We'll have to see how that brings him out in the mix. Looks like it is just all our top 5 runners now that haven't pitted. So Doug Gowans, Dylan DeMoto, Jack Edwards, Greg Johnson and Tyler Sheep. So Jake Edwards has got the move done on Greg Johnson there. Did we see what happened there? Was that a move, Rob, that we can have a look at?
Jake Edwards on Greg Johnston.
That was the battle for the final podium position. Greg did have it there for a while.
Yeah, he was holding it off. Oh, mate. Got to lap 13 by the look of it. Lost it.
Is
But
it
Tyler
perhaps
Sheep...
Perhaps it was done in the pits, maybe.
True. But Tyler Sheep...
neither of those guys have pitted yet, so they couldn't have been done in the pits. Okay, it looks like we don't have it. I think we are running on board, having a look at Dylan DeBone here from Velocity Sim Labs. He has been the fast runner all night, but it's his teammate that's running away with the victory here. Also having a good look at Jake Edwards, who our race 1 winner, and he's up 7 spots into P3 as well, so he's having a crack around, and I think Winton is one of those places that really suits the crisscross boys. It is a bit of a crisscross track, isn't it?
It is definitely a very crisscross track, isn't it? We've seen these guys around here in the Porsches around here as well. They love a bit of action around here. Great work.
Hard around here, the 992 around here would be even crazier.
Yeah, craziness. I think we saw a few on their roofs, to be honest, on Death Corner. So, yeah, interesting. But we see Tyler Sheaf. It's going to mix up a bit now because we know he's got that stop and go penalty from cutting the track. So he'll have to take that soon. That's really going to it's going to push Matty Keane back up into the 5th spot by the look of that.
I think he was taken. I don't know.
Interesting.
Matty Gerard just asking where Scotty is. Yeah, Scotty Rankin had to pull out of the series, buddy. So, you Velocity boys, are sort of lost your main competitor there. So we're just trying to see who's stepping up tonight. And so far, Jake Edwards was the first to put up his hand to say, I'm going to keep the good fight going. And he put it on P1 for race number 1 and P3 at the moment. So he's putting it. I think Team Greg maybe tried to put the hunt on as well. Greg Johnson running in P4 at the moment. And we've seen, got the Whitey Pies guys, Tyler Sheep and Jake, both finding pace. And I know that the TCRs are a bit of a focus car for those boys, much like the Velocity guys. That's what you need. We need some good battles out there. Keep that banter going, guys.
And it definitely in the TCRs, it definitely pays off having power in numbers with teammates around in these TCRs, because we know how things like the toe make a big difference. So you can work with somebody, a teammate, massive difference.
Well, I think it's been a bit serious this week, Toddy, because I didn't get any of the messages behind the scenes with the dirt for this week. So everyone's been concentrating. Remember last week we had a few of the guys and girls out there saying that they hadn't done a lot of practice, and there was a bit of Jim's mowing going on. But this week it's been very quiet on the comms, so perhaps everyone just really focused. The Bathurst 12 hour on this weekend as well, Toddy, too. So trying to find some practice time for that in the middle of all your other commitments can be disconcerting as well.
100%.
All right. Having a look at Blake Gallen here at the moment, and that's Tyrone Walsh and Stephanie Cowy in front of him. So he is trying to battle hard here in the back. Stephanie's gone deep to go into the pits. No, she just, I think a bit of grass there. It was Greg Johnson and Tyler Sheep doing their pit runs now as well. Okay.
SLM boys trying to stay out of the trouble.
It's Michael Loke coming out in the front of Tyrone, and Blake's going to get the job done up here on the inside, is it?
That was Mickey Locke, was it? Yeah, it looked like Mickey Locke was flashing there a bit.
He's in front, and Blake Gallen getting past him.
Oh, so that's Tyrone Walsh, yeah, that was flashing there. Yeah, interesting, yeah, so Matty Keane up into 4th place now. Jack Rogers up into 5th, up 11 spots. Greg Johnson down into the 6th position now, so he's slowly falling back, but he's been battling hard, Greg Johnson, so great drive for him tonight.
So seeing that Matty Keane and Jack Rogers, who did those earlier pit stops, they've really made a bit of hay while they had clean air, and were able to leapfrog Greg there, so that's just a little bit of the change of the tactics. Doug Gowan's coming into the pits now, so he had a very healthy lead.
See if he's got enough buffer.
Or I think there was about 5 or 6 seconds, so I'd say that's probably going to be enough. Jake Edwards still yet to pit, so has he been able to go a bit longer? And
Gowan's out of the pits now.
So Jake Edwards has gone through to do another lap, so he's still got fuel on board that car. Dylan DeBono is now only about 2.9 seconds behind Doug Gowan, so Dylan was one that was able to make a big jump there in that pit. He was about 6 or 7 seconds behind Doug at one stage, so that's a big gain in the pits. Mark Cochran, something's happened to Mark Cochran. He's had a crash somewhere. He's entered pit lane, so it looks like he might have just lost it coming into pit lane. It is a tricky place to... Oh, look at that, riding the curbs from Dylan. He is driving the wheels off that thing and as hard as he possibly can. He can now see his teammate up ahead there with that lap car in the middle. Max Donnelly here putting the pressure on Greg Leake. I saw this battle heating up about a lap ago as well, Todd. So...
In the Kiwi car in the Audi there, just trying to jump and get on the back of Leakey, but we've got another sheep in front of Greg Leake as well there, so we're all kind of working together, trying to battle each other.
Well, he's had a couple of good rounds, Max Donnelly, putting it on the podium at Knock Hill and also at Phillip Island, so 2 P2s. So far the W has eluded him, but he's having to battle a bit hard at the moment, running 10th. And Greg Leake is just driving good, straight, solid lines and forcing Max to try and find a way around.
And I reckon Leakey and Johnson, Tim Gregg have got to be some of the hardest guys to get around sometimes. If they don't want to let you go by, they will put their elbows out, and they're really good at defence, so something I've really noticed. And yeah, as you said, improvements from these guys has been awesome. So.
Oh yeah, the late dive there. That was a little peekaboo from Max, but that's all right. But he would have been big trouble if he sent his nose up any further there.
Yeah, it would have been a bit rough, I think, there. He definitely thought better of it mid-corner, didn't he? Well, he's definitely trying to pile the pressure on now, though. He's starting to show the nose. He's trying to set it up because there's not many places to pass around here. Big puff of smoke from somewhere.
Yeah, we've been watching this race, Todd, and we're down to inside the 4 minutes. So he went up the inside there and saw that Greg was turning as if he wasn't there. They had to get on the grass. I wonder if that got him to slow down. If so, I think he's bled it off already. But yes, Todd, we've only got about 3.5 minutes to go of this motor race, so time flies when you're having fun, buddy.
It does, doesn't it? That's Johnston! Hey, Team Greg, no! He wasn't 6th place, having such a great race, no! That's crushing. It's up to you now, Leakey, for Team Greg. Keep your spot, buddy. No pressure.
To show how things can change in a heartbeat in a motor race, and it's no different on the iRacing server. Having a look at our front runners here, Doug Gowans and Dylan DeBono, teammates, so I don't know if they're going to battle tonight. We can see Jack Rogers coming up on the back of Matty Keane here. This is the battle for 4th position. We can see ahead of them Jake Edwards got a couple of seconds, and that is Jack sending it hard there, Toddy.
Oh mate, that Audi did not sound happy going over those bumps.
It did take the pass, so he got away with it that lap. Let's see how hard he wants to push, because we are inside the final 3 minutes of this motor race, but 2.5 left, and there are diminishing opportunities out there as the laps count down.
There is. Jack Rogers up 11 positions up into 5th now, so unfortunately Tyler Sheaf having to do that stop and go for cutting the course, so he's dropped down, but he still kept the 7th position, so it's pretty impressive from him, to be honest, for Tyler Sheaf.
He's starting to find his feet in these cars as well. Greg Leake up 6 positions. Jake Edwards and Dylan Bono up 7. Doug, the grandpa Gowans up 5 positions. So it's really been Greg Johnson, Mark Cochran, I think Dean Sinkovich, Blake Gowan, Tyrone Walsh. They're the big losers at the moment. And all of them with Stephanie and Michael Locke are down a lap. All right, we are getting near the final part of this race. We're inside the last minute, so this will be the final lap here. Doug Gowans has a 3-second lead over his teammate Dylan DeBono, so I can't see that changing. Jake Edwards behind him, he's got a couple of seconds as well. So there is a couple of lap cars in the middle there, so but they're getting out of the way at the moment, so that makes it look like it's a close battle, but I think it's about 2 or 3 seconds. Oh, sorry, it's a lot more than that. It's about 17, 18 seconds back to Jake, currently in P3. But it is the Velocity Sim Lab boys once again putting it near the front, though Doug just giving us a little bit of a hard attack there with a grass run on the last lap. But coming into the final sequence here, we will finish up our TCR's sprint format tonight here at the paperclip. Well, not really, but I suppose it is. But there's the clothesline, and Barney waving the checker flag. It is Doug Gowans, our series leader and previous season champion, coming away with the W once again. Great drive from Dylan DeBono, having a rear grid tonight in the first race, and he has carved his way through the field in both races to put 2 podium results up. And Jake Edwards, our race 1 winner, well, he's doubled it up with a race with a podium finish in race 3 as well, so that is a great effort from him as well. Matty Keane just finishing ahead of Jack Rogers there. That was a great battle happening at the end of this race, and this battle here between the teammates Daniel Fritz and Tyler Sheep, well, they've swapped positions a few times as well, and you can see there that it was Daniel that got the final say. Greg Leake trying to get the job done on Tyler as well, but he couldn't, though he did manage to hold off a fast-charging Max Donnelly, who's come home in P9 with a pretty good drive, and Mark Cochran inside the top 10 himself as well. Oh no, it's going to be Andrew Proctor finishing in P10. Well, Toddy.
Man, what a race.
Some good battles going on. The guys really having a send, and we didn't see nearly as many black flags from race control this race, but again, the pace was there and some really good, respectful driving, I think, amongst the field.
Oh, yeah, and those middle battle packs, man, that's what I love about these inverted top 10 races. Those mid-range battle packs with all the fast guys are so much fun for that first, 13, 14 laps. There's so much excitement. And then once people start pitting, the whole race changes again. Really exciting.
Well, that's it. We were looking at a 10-car battle pack there at one stage, I think. So
yeah, crazy, hey? Just brilliant work. Mr. Sigovic just running out of fuel and rolling over the line. Is someone going to come and... I think he has. Oh, look how close he is to the line. Someone needs to come and push him. Someone give him a push. Someone give him a push.
No, I think he's just trying to position the car in there for the grid, and looks like one of our grid finishers is left before they could get the photo of everyone. Blake Gallant is coming around. I think this would be his cool down lap. This is again one of the things if you just
And there's his teammate. There's Stephanie.
Oh, okay, so there's a nice team shot going on there as they block the track.
Yeah, it's not, they're nice looking liveries actually. Oh, there's the next teammate. There we go.
There we go.
Loving it. Legends.
Oh, is there a bit of 0x
I just slid away in the middle.
Someone do a 4x then? I'll have to ask us, let us know there, but that is a nice little park up from the Apex Esports League team there, putting all 3 cars in the picture.
Good on
Well, buddy, another eventful night here for the TCRs, and we do have our race 1 winner and race 2 P3 finisher Jake Edwards in the room. Well, Jake, you couldn't come around with a double W, but you must be fairly happy with the podium finish, having to make your way from 10th in that race.
Yeah, I reckon that one was a bit tougher than the first one, man. That was hard work. The boys up the front, they just took off once the Bono got clear. I was trying to stay with him, but then I just went, nah, stuff, I'll just run my own race.
Now, you had a little bit of a battle going on there, but you were able to sort of hold that position, and then it was just all about, maintaining that gap, not doing anything too silly.
Yeah, exactly, man. It was just maintaining the gap, just making sure that we don't go off track. Because like we seen in the first race, once you go off track, it's a bit it's a bit hard to get back on.
Now we're just having a look at the your footage here at the start there, and you got up right up on the inside of the curb at T1. Did cost you a bit of a run there, buddy, but
I told you
you
I'd
sort of
send
had
it.
nowhere else to go.
I'm glad you did. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, I mean, in the end, the beauty is that you didn't make contact like, so another certain person might have done last night, and got the black flag as a result of it. But yeah, I think sometimes those curbs are only a imaginary line of the track. It's all, sometimes we'll take the 1X for the spot.
That's it, man. We need gain your positions wherever you can.
Well, that's it. Well, buddy, you once again have got into the booth here to have a chat with us. So, is there anything you'd like to say? I know you've got your sponsors and teammates to thank again as well, but you got any other insights for us from tonight's racing?
Not really, man. Like I've probably jumped in with maybe 20 minutes worth of practice. That's about it. I've just been doing heaps of Bathurst laps. Plus, we got back from the 12-hour, like the official 12-hour. On Monday. So that was all like us crisscross boys were up at the 12-hour enjoying ourselves. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's right. You were there down the track for real, and that would have been awesome. Camping out on the hill. Or in the back paddock?
We're camping up out on at Reed and Sorman, just up on the hill. It was nice. Beautiful weather.
Buddy, you got to get back to civilization and in the sim, and you put it on the podium twice tonight with a win and third place. Let us know who's giving you all the support out there, mate.
Beautiful, man. Too easy. Like I said, man, I'd like to thank Sean Scenery, Palmerston Bakery as well. They're mega. Mighty's Pies, Ryko Performances as well for the setup. I'd like to thank the teammate Tyson Styles for letting me score more points than him. That's beautiful of him. And yeah, that's about it, man.
Oh, awesome, buddy. Well, you certainly deserved to have a couple of chats to us tonight, mate. Well done on P1 and P3, and hopefully some nice bankable points for the championship.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Cheers. Too easy, boys.
All right, buddy. Well done. All right. We do have our P2 finisher, Dylan DeBono, in the chat here now. Dylan, that was you had to work hard, buddy, with a rear of grid in the first race. But knowing you, mate, you would have had a blast.
Oh yeah, that first race that was a good race. Started pretty well from I think it was 17th to 6th in the first lap.
Did see you made a big chunk of positions there, but it was all about full sends, was it, on cold tyres?
Yeah, it was big sends only, I guess you could say. Just tried to keep the contact to a minimum so I didn't get another week banned, and yeah, just worked out well. Yeah,
well, that's it. So you had the long arm of the law, put you out last week, buddy. And I know, Tyson's he's copped the same thing this week, and he is race control on other nights. So I suppose we can get a bit fired up sometime in the sim, man, and it doesn't always come off the way we intend it, does it?
Yeah, that's it. It's just tough decision to take, but I guess when you look back at it, it's probably the right decision, and yeah.
Look, it's just good, hard racing, man, and we know that, sometimes things get heated out there, but, it's great to have you back, mate, and, there was no option to attack your teammate there at the end. He just had too much of a gap in that race number 2.
Yeah, he was just too consistent and too fast. And, yeah, just got the better of me, really. But, it comes and goes like that, and it's good team racing.
Well, you did have a good battle there with Jake Edwards as well, so it looks like Jake's found a bit of pace around here too, so that must have been good. We're watching a bit of footage here now of where you were battling up in and around the tree early on there.
Yeah, that first race with me and Jake was almighty, Came back from 3 seconds in 5 laps and just ran out of laps, I think.
Well, I can't see Doug up in the chat there, buddy. We were going to try and have a chat to our race 2 winner tonight, but you're here representing the Velocity Sim Lab boys, so let us know who's giving you all the support, and congrats on your great racing tonight too, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks to you guys as well.
All right, buddy. Well, you want to let us know who's sponsoring you guys. And well, I don't know. Something happened to Doug. Were you talking to him before?
Yeah, I think he's going to discuss his harsh penalty on the race one.
Aha, okay. So maybe it's a bit more important to talk to race control than it is to talk to the broadcast, but that's all right, buddy. Here he is. He's coming in now. Let's drag him down now. So Dylan tells us you're a little bit delayed by a discussion with race control. Did they answer your questions, buddy?
They tried to, and let's just leave it at that.
Well, mate, you certainly had a bit of fighting to do tonight. How was the racing out there in general, buddy? Because it did look like guys were trying to send it either way, and I suppose that's what you have to do around here to get the job done.
Oh, you do. In the first race, I just cold tyres. It just caused me to spin. I thought I had enough time to get back out in front of Matty Keane. Obviously, I didn't. So big apologies to Matty about that one. I got a fully deserved penalty. In the second one, I mean, it was a good race all throughout from most of the guys. They could say us faster guys coming through, and they allowed us the room and the space to get past and continue on with our race. So that was good.
Well, buddy, your championship rival has left the series, so now you've only got to worry about your teammate at the moment. Is there anyone else out there in the field that's, maybe sort of keeping you worried? I know Jake Edwards had a pretty good run tonight.
Oh, look, there's some solid guys out there. Jake is pretty damn fast. You always got to keep an eye on him. Matty Keane's getting better and better, and we all know what he's like in the GT3s, Certainly kicks my button there. So once he gets a handle on these cars, he'll be up there with us. So there are, there's still some depth in the field.
It's good to see, buddy. Well, I mean, you are doing everything you can do to defend your title, buddy. So it's looking pretty good for you at the moment. Are you a fan of the Winton track in these cars?
Look, because it's a hard one to answer because the TCRs, as we all know, is a very difficult car to drive. Lots of understeer, and there's lots of corners at Winton, sharp corners. So you got to get the balance right to be able to get around this track pretty fast. So I do enjoy it, but it's always a fight.
Well, buddy, you have fought your way to put it P1 for the feature race tonight. I think Jake might actually take away the round result. We'll have to see how the points handle, but P1 in our feature race, buddy. Let us know who's given giving your team all of the...
Do you want me to leave it up to you?
God. Just let me choke on my own words.
No, that's fine. No. Oh, look, I want to thank Nathan and Dylan, and we also had Tyler and Daniel Fritz in practicing with us this week, and those guys were a great help for all of us trying to come to a setup. Steve from Velocity, YouTube, Speedhouse, Here to Race, Digital Design, you guys, I always say you guys, and SRW, Warren and Brown Tools, and just remember it's Gowans with an S.
Awesome, buddy. Gowans with an S. Well, Douglas Gowans with an S. Well done tonight, buddy, and congratulations. And you better go and get ready for the F3s because you can have a go at them too, aren't you?
I'm going to try. I really like Bathurst. It's a bit difficult jumping straight out of a TCR into F3 qualifying, I've got to say.
Especially at Bathurst.
Well, good luck, buddy. You better head
cars.
on over there, and we'll see if we can have another chat to you a bit later to see if you can turn it on in the F3s.
No worries. Thanks very much, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
All righty.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well, guys, that will bring us to the end of the TCRs racing here tonight on SRW TV, but it is not the end of our Wednesday night Super Show. Stay tuned. It is F3s at the Mount Panorama Bathurst Circuit. It is going to be awesome. We will see you soon as we take a little bit of a break and catch our breath.
Much love, legends. Keep safe.
Good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome back to SRW TV. The TCRs are behind us. It's round 4 of our F3 championship, and we are in the Battle of the Ashes, and we are at home soil. This is Mount Panorama, Bathurst, the track to end all tracks, especially when it comes to F3 running, and we're here at the home of Australian Motorsport for tonight's round. And it's all thanks to Warren and Brown Tools, our round sponsor. And this track, well, Mount Panorama is where the walls loom and the toe is king. So we'll have to see if these guys can concentrate enough to put that all-important quick lap here in quali to get it themselves as far up the grid as they can. It's Cowy, your average sim racer here, together with Chef Toddy, who's hung around to talk stuff about the F3s. Rob, sainted painter behind the scenes on the cameras as well. Guys, we've only got about 5 minutes of quali left. Just wanted to make sure that everything was loaded properly for you guys out there. We were having an issue with trading paints. But, as you can see, it is all action here. And the times are down, and it's Phil Vella once again up the top, Toddy.
Oh, mate, this is epic. I just had to hang around a bit longer, eh? Just because it's the mountain, man. This is God's country. This is the greatest track ever created, I reckon. And these things around here are a handful, so this is going to be exciting, guys.
It is pretty daunting in an F3 car, I would think. But we're just having a look as at Phil Vella at the moment. He has done a 157.41 so far.
What?
He's got 3 tenths on Braden Sagassa. And it's great to see Braden driving in these F3s because he is a weapon in the supercar. And Michael Cartajar, he was our big weapon in the SR8 Radical, and he's come over to the F3s as well. So he's put up David Gallo, one of the Kittens machines. He's running P4 at the moment. And if I look at it here, the top 6 are all gone into the... Sorry, the top 7, I should say. They've all gone into the 57s. So...
That is crazy fast.
We can go all the way down the field to Stephen Sinkovich, Dean Sinkovich, Doug Gowan and Andrew Lydon as the only 4 runners in the field that haven't broken the 2 minutes yet.
Yeah, and you've got a feel for these guys out there as well that have just come out of a TCR car and now they're into an F3. So that's probably why Mr. Grandpa Gowan's down the back is still a bit slow.
Well, you've also got a few of the guys that spent their weekend watching the Bathurst 12 hour, the big race on the weekend in the real world of motorsports. And one of the things about that day is we got to see the RB11, the Red Bull machine, do some laps. Oh, dude, I can't say he did laps around here because it deliberately slowed down a couple of places so they couldn't piece it together. I think I've already seen a few guys trying to sort of estimate that the lap would have been about a 153 or something like that, I think they said.
Wow, that is craziness. And that was Liam Lawson.
And he wasn't even sending it. But the comment that got me was Crompo saying that it was weird that down in pit lane you could hear the RB11 going over the top of the mountain.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I just watched I watched this footage on YouTube that you can watch, and it's just the car, nobody commentating over the top of it. Oh, mate, that thing sounds amazing. Why don't F1 cars still sound like that, I reckon? But, that's the age of a hybrid, etc., etc.
It certainly is, and these F3s, so we can see Doug Gowan here. He's trying to get some laps in, rather successful in his TCR running tonight, and now in a car that's a bit more daunting for him. But he's right in it now. I have Adrian Loretti. He's put it P5, and then Ryan Houlihan's come along and put it P2. And again, these times are super close. So you looking at it, between 2nd to 6th is 500 per second.
Wow, that's insane, isn't it? Yeah, just looking at the numbers to myself. That's crazy.
57.74 for Ryan Houlihan in P2. 57.75 for Braden, 57.76 for Michael Carter, 57.77 for Adrian Loretti, and then 57.79 for David Gallo.
That is crazy.
That is very, very close.
And then there's 900ths between the next one. That's crazy.
It continues when we look at the mid-pack. So Scotty Bargen has got a 58.11 in P9. Then it's a 58.13 by Daniel Byrne. Then it's a 58.18 by Steve Tonkin. 58.23 by Daniel. 58.31 by Thomas. 58.41. 58.46. 58.50. Yeah, so we're not going up in increments of tenths here between these cars. We're talking hundreds.
Yeah.
I know on Sunday night, I actually had the exact time of another driver down to 1,000 in our race. So it can happen. And I'm pretty sure it happened in the F3s last week, didn't it, Rob? We were talking about it. There was a qualifying in the middle where two people put the exact same time down to the 1,000th of a second. But we are into the last minute of qualifying. Now, this is a normal 60-minute race tonight, so qualifying won't immediately cut off when the timer hits 15, but you need to cross the start-finish line before that happens if you're going to get that final lap in. All right, just having a look at the cars here coming through Hell Corner. You know why they called that Hell Corner, don't you, Toddy?
No, I think you might have told me, but I've forgotten.
Okay, so there used to be a tree stump on the exit of that corner.
What?
When the bikes
Really?
used to race here, back in the 60s. It might have even been earlier. There was a big tree there. They cut the tree down and left the tree stump, and that tree stump, I think, might have claimed a couple of people. Therefore, you were centered through Hell Corner, you were going to hell. So there's the origin of the name.
Wow, because you had to use all the exit on that corner as well. You couldn't avoid its tree stump being there. Wow. That's awesome.
We're going to get plenty of running here at Mount Panorama this week. It is the iRacing 12-hour on this weekend, so be interested to see out there in YouTube land, guys. If you're putting your teams in, do let us know. The JWM boys, let's go Nick and the JWM boys from Tim, awesome. And come on JWM from Uncle Hutto as well, so great to have your support, and great to have the JWM boys here. I know last week it was Ryan Houlihan, Jay Dixon and Matthew Pignata, so it was the Alpha Venturi boys that came away with good results in both the races. Phil Vella managed to run away with the feature victory, but I know in the first heat was a fair bit down the train. He finished 10th in that first heat, got the pole position for the second race, and that was more than enough for him to run away with it. But the championship is still fairly tight. There's only 10 points between Phil Vella for DFR Racing and Ryan Houlihan for Alpha Venturi. Go back about 39 points to Matthew Pignata for Alpha Venturi in P3, and then Scotty Bargen about a further 40 points back there for Area 51 Sim Sports. Actually, he's tied with Michael Cartajar at the moment. So it's quite close, that battle for sort of 4th down to 10. And the battle for 1st and 2nd, quite close as well in the points. Team championships, well, it's Alpha Venturi leading DFR by 5 points. That's the Alpha Green boys of Ryan Houlihan and Matthew Pignata. Alpha Venturi Blue guys of Daniel Hunter and Thomas Sanderson sit in 3rd in the championship, and they're ahead of Daniel Byrne and Andrew Lydon, the first of the Kittens team, Kitten Racing team number 2. So JWM boys running 5th with Timothy and Nicholas. So the team championship is still early days, but already the Alpha Venturi guys, they've come really onto the fore this season, Todd, and have been putting regular stops up the front. But the big story is the Downforce Racing guys, DFR of Phil Vella and Jay Dixon. Phil Vella has come into the F3 season for 3 races. Or sorry, 4 races if you count a sprint. 3 victories out of those 4 races, Toddy. So he is the man to beat, and again has put it on pole for tonight's race.
And it's awesome, actually, because I haven't done F3s this season. It's great to see the strength of the field, and we've got a lot of new names I don't recognise in there, so it's going to be great and exciting for me to watch tonight, actually.
That's it, buddy, and it's been big fields. I think we've got 26 cars out there tonight. We have been hitting 30 cars for the past few weeks. So perhaps, as you said, a few of those 12-hour headaches from the weekend for a few of the guys. But it is
true.
Phil Vella for Downforce Racing. That is put it on pole for tonight's race. David Gallo for Kittens Racing number 3. He's done a great lap to be 200ths of a second, I think. No, so 2/10 it is, sorry, to put it on the front row. Ryan Houlihan for Alpha Venturia Racing P3. Braden Sagassa for 1-9 Racing is put at P4, so it's a great roll for Braden. Steve Tonkins for JWN P5, Michael Cottager in P6. And then we've got Adrian Loretti and Jay Dixon, the other Downforce Racing machine on the row. Matthew Pignata, Daniel Byrne, and then Scott Barge and Daniel Hunter making up row 6. It's Thomas Sanderson and Greg Bradley, Adam Simpson and Andrew Johnson. Adam Simpson's a fair way back in the field there in 15th at the moment. It's Timothy and Nick Schmalenberg, teammates alongside each other, the JWN boys. Michael Fowles, Michael Stevens in the 10th row. Nathan Verney and Andrew Lydon right at the back. Dean Sinkovic and Danny Matesic right back there as well. So there's a couple of names that we normally don't see right at the back of the field. Stephen Sinkovic and Doug Gowans, and our race controls, Greg Barber and Adam Hughes at the back of the grid, and hopefully they won't take part in the racing tonight, or they might get in trouble. Well, Toddy, it's great to have you with me for the F3s here. This is round 4. It is our battle for the Ashes. We've done 2 English tracks. We're now on our second Aussie track, and this is the home of motorsport in Australia. So if you haven't raced here on a simulator, then you don't know what you're missing out on.
Most definitely. A 34-degree track temperature. This is going to be tough on tyres tonight, guys.
All right, well, here come the lights. This is round 4, and it's all thanks to Warren and Brown Tools for bringing this to us. The lights go out. Looks like it's a pretty good start from the field there. Didn't see anyone really bogged down. There's a bit of jostling in the back there, but Phil Vella has been able to take a normal line, and David Gallo. Ryan Houlihan tried to go up the inside there with a tight line, but David just stuck to his normal line and has got a good run. But we can see everyone getting away cleanly. You can see quite a few cars already trying to take that inside line so that they've got the inside for Griffin's Bend.
Oh, look at this. Gallo and Vella already battling.
Around the outside, but that's going to open the door for Ryan Houlihan. He's trying to sneak up, but David's closed the door on him there quickly. Cold tyres, and there's some brave moves going on, Toddy. I don't know if
I'm just mesmerised. They all got such a clean start as well. You can tell these guys have done. Everybody's done a lot of laps around here. Maybe not in the F3s, but everyone. If you're worth your weight in sim racing, you've done quite a few laps around here, and great moves already.
Well, so far it's our top 9 that have all maintained their starting position. It's Daniel Hunter in 10th position. He's up a couple of positions. Adam Simpson's done some
safety
really
car.
Well. Oh, look at that. Massive moment.
No.
That is Adrian Loretti. He's put it into the wall. Is that car broken?
Yeah, it is definitely broken by the sounds of that. Oh, so it all started. So it was Andrew Johnson had a crash, Michael Felsen, and then we had Nathan Verney and Michael Stevens have a crash as well. So,
But that's just cold tyres and the sending going on there on lap 1 from these guys. They were battling hard, and there was no heat in those tyres whatsoever. So it just goes to show how serious they're taking it, that they were pushing super hard from the word go.
Yeah, no pressure, eh? That's just insane. I can't believe how quick these guys are going on cold tyres. But yeah, that rear.
Right, so here you're going to have a look at the replay, and well, the promo department. Oh, he's disappeared, has he?
Oh, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Whoa!
Look at that. Whoa!
Has he just reappeared in the middle of the track there?
Well, let's try and wind that back. Maybe look at where were those other couple of cars back there, because that looked like the start of the incident. But this is massive carnage. So who?
Wow!
But we've got 3 cars on top of each other a bit further back. Let's scroll past that and see if you can move forward on a couple of the cars. Fine.
There's Andrew Johnston and Michael Falzon together, I think.
6, 7, 8 of Andrew Johnson there. Yeah, the 21 of Michael Falzon. Is that? Yep. And who's underneath? There's another car in the back of that as well.
Wow. Carnage.
All
Flat
right, we're
one.
just trying to see if we can bring those pictures to you guys and see what's happened here. But
like-
yeah, F3 cars are not designed to be stacked that way. I don't think you'd even park them that way, Toddy.
No, it's kind of like humans. Yeah, S3 version of Human Centipede that looks a bit like that there. Just yes, that would love to see. It must have been one little mistake by one person, and then it's just a chain reaction, right? Oh wow! So that's Nathan Verdi.
All right. So he's gone on the inside. Here we go. Okay, so we're back live at the moment. So yeah, that was some crazy stuff there going there. But that's, well, it just goes to show you that, you know, they're pushing so hard on cold tyres, and, you know, you go out on the grass and, you know, these tyres don't have any grip for a few laps on the asphalt, let alone the grass. So,
Yeah.
Bella, he is well down he's 8 cars down. What's happened to Phil?
He did
there?
slow
He
right
has-
down, but it didn't look like he had a crash anywhere, so it's very strange.
That is,
Oh no, he's had a bit of a moment here on SDK. It seems he's had a bit of a moment. Adam Hughes had a crash, and it's race control already. Yeah.
that is interesting. I can't see that he pitted or anything. So, all right, so let's have a look and see what's happened here. So this is after the safety car has been called, as he just missed his brake marker or a bit of grass. Oh, just cold tyres.
Oh no.
Oh, at least he's done.
Oh, and where he is, he has to let the whole field go, right? Oh, almost.
Yeah, that's it.
He's done well to turn that thing around pretty quickly, though, hasn't he? It was impressive. Oh.
Well, maybe add a bit of excitement to his race tonight, because he can't run away from it at the front now. He's going to have to battle his way through. Race control just advising the safety car will do another lap, so that might give the guys like Adrian already the chance of that to maybe catch onto the back once they've towed. So someone's just received the warning for trying to be race control out on track, so...
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a bit of a telling off, I think.
in race control's defence, and you know, I know my teammate Tyson is on race control, the same thing. There's been a bit of chatter coming back from some of the drivers that, not necessarily arguments, but maybe questioning decisions. Look, in the end, that's why we have a ticket system here at SRW. If race control have made their call, nothing you say on the radio is going to make them change their mind. It might mean that you cop a bit longer penalty, or a
Yeah, that's the best one,
or a
yeah,
rear
sure,
grid,
yeah.
or something like
Don't
that.
test
So,
them, right?
and you know, when race control is prepared to give another race control member a rear of grid and a race ban, then you know that they're serious. So it's not just there's no you know, favoritism. If you know, make the mistake, you do the time. All right, so watching the field, so sort of, it almost looks like they're crawling in behind the BMW safety car there. But it is a great spectacle that unfortunately we're probably never going to see in real life of you know, these sort of cars racing around Bathurst. We did see the S5000s do a race here, and that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Unfortunately, I don't think that the FIA would grade this as a Formula One track.
Yeah, I think the cars are far too expensive to drive them around here, right? As we just saw.
Well, it's one of those things that, you know, even the best V8 drivers generally walk away with mirrors missing.
Yep.
So, Rob's saying it's too late to bring in the safety car. Maybe as they were coming down past the pit lane, and that's where race control just advised them that, you know, thank you. I think we've got this under control. But look, it's always a good bit of chatter out there amongst the boys. I might have got in trouble or got a little warning myself after the race last night, a bit of chatter. So we're trying to just keep the comms clear for the actual reporting of incidents. And I can see race control's point. I know a few of us, you know, especially the few of us that do streaming and that, we love talking all the time. Toddy can bet
Hell yeah.
in on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Bloody can you?
Exactly right, yeah. But, you know.
All right, so safety car is going to pull away from the field. David Gallo finds himself at the front, so it's a kitten leading this pack. And Ryan Houlihan, Braden Sagassa sitting in behind him. It's Phil Vella back in ninth after that spin, so he's got a bit of work to do. But the control of the field is in David Gallo's hands. Do you think he's going to go early? Or is he going to save it for the last corner?
I think he's gonna hold the pack. We've seen him do that before, David Gallo, when he's been in the league in previous seasons. He's kind of
I
one of
believe the acceleration zone does not start until they pass under the Dunlop Bridge, so he can't go before that point.
Okay.
Oh no, he's just been advised he can go whenever he wants.
Wow.
Yeah, so I thought the restart zone was once they get under the bridge here, and it looks like he's going to hold them up to that point anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if he just tries to get a launch off the last corner here, Murray's, and make the most of it.
Most definitely. This is a great.
Oh no, he's gone a little bit early. Yeah, gone a little bit early there. That's probably smart play though, because I think if you try to punch the entire field up to the line round there might be a bit of carnage behind you. Right, single file, we can see the cars all trying to set up the run up Mountain Straight, because it will be about the toe up Mountain Straight. And look, Ryan Houlihan got a great exit there. This is going to be pressure on David Gallo. Does he go inside to defend right straight away? At the moment, holding his line out the back. Yeah, not quite close enough, Ryan. Oh, he's going to send it. Oh, he had a look. Oh, just a little game of peekaboo there. Nothing to see here.
And Steve Tompkins just made a massive move on Jay Dixon and Matthew Pignata there too.
Oh,
Got him up into fourth place. Good job. Andrew Johnson.
all right, Andrew Johnson on the radio. So there's a moment there, and looks like he's fallen right off the back of the pack at the moment. So something's happened. Race control's going to have a look. Can we see what happened to Andrew Johnson, please, Mr. Sainted Man? All right, so here it is here, and is that Adrian already up the inside? Oh, okay. Well, that is very interesting, whether or not he thought he is clear of him.
Wheel on wheel there. Oh, that was.
That'll be an interesting one to see how race control handles that.
And especially with these open wheeler cars, these S3s, as soon as they get tire on tire, you see the whole front just jumps up in the air. Yeah, it was a passenger at that point.
Well, Adrian was moving out to maybe open up his run through Griffins, and perhaps he thought he was past Greg there. That'll be an interesting one for race control, because, you know, sometimes it can be the responsibility of the car getting past to make sure it gets out of it. Other times it's the responsibility of the car making the pass to do it cleanly. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a grey area one there. That'll be interesting to see what people say. Apparently there's a little bit of an echo on the stream, so maybe one of your mics is picking up something there, Rob. You want to check into that? I think it might have been your mic, Toddy. That's all right. Good to give you this time, buddy.
It should be all good.
All right, having a look at Thomas Sanderson here in P11. And there's a nice sort of battle going on behind here with Adam Simpson. Who's that? Is that Timothy Schmalenberg up the inside trying to get past Adam Simpson? Oh, Adam's ran wide there. Is that going to be enough? He's still got the inside line coming up to the cutting, so he can be bullish here and make sure the car's in the right spot. Timothy can't get past there. Oh, right to the rear. He's kept it out of the wall, but
Too much
this is probably
handle.
going to cost him.
Oh, too much channel again from the Spinovich boys. From both
Yeah,
the Spinovich boys. I
that's
think
a
that was
double Spinovich.
simultaneous. I think that was
Double
like
Spinovich.
synchronized Spinoviches.
Wow. I remember there was a famous, was it a Mick Doohan moment? I think it was on the motorbikes where two guys, both bikes get flicked at exactly the same time.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's right.
two guys got on up, quite a famous sort of video of that. And Tim said the liveries, the proper liveries are all coming up properly this week, Rob, so ticket for approval there. That's why we were a little bit late, Tim, of coming into quali. We probably could have come in at the start of quali, but training paints hadn't fully loaded all the paints, and we would rather make sure that that's ready to go before we bring it live to you guys. All right, Michael Cuttajar in P9. So Michael got some great pace, but he got caught up in incident there. There's that Braden Sagassa making a move up the inside. So that's it. That's a full shuffle of the top three. So David Gallo was in front. As Ryan Houlihan made a move on David, and then he's opened the door for Braden as well, I'd say. Here we go. So this is into the chase. As Ryan's got the job done there by the looks of it. Yeah, with the toe. Okay, so David's tried to go deep and sharp.
Whoa!
And you can see the Braden behind him has taken the right line and has just carried all the speed. So Braden was able to get done. So that's interesting. A nice shuffle of the top three there. Keep it nice and interesting. I think maybe, Rob, you weren't paying enough attention to the front three, so they decided they better make some passes to get everything. All right.
Oh, mate, I'm loving the look of the Ryan Houlihan's car. Actually, it's a great looking livery. Great combination of colours.
I don't know if lime green and aqua would be my choice, but
It's kind of cool. It looks good on a race car.
I like
recognisable.
I was going to say I like the purple on the front fin, so that's
You're a big
my colour.
purple man, aren't you? Yeah, that's
Purple's my
right.
colour, mate.
Yeah, fair enough.
Having a look at Nathan Verney, and is that Michael Stevens, his teammate behind him? I thought I saw two locked on cars there. No, it's Danny. Yeah. Danny, one of the Kittens boys in front of him at the moment. So these guys have all pitted, so they fixed their cars after the carnage that happened on that second lap. And there's a whole train of five of them or so there. So just spacing out here the race at the moment. We are about 15 minutes into our hour feature race here for the F3s. Guys, this is SRW TV. These are F3s at Mount Panorama. Yes, you heard me say that right. And it's all thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. Great to have them on board. And the promo department, our safety car, well, true to form, we've seen the safety car already, Toddy. We used to have a bet of how many safety cars would come out for the
Oh, yeah.
Right? Have you had a think about that now?
Oh, it is Bathurst, and I do not ever envy the job of race control when it comes to Bathurst in any car, to be honest, because it's always a bit of a cluster F, if you know what I mean.
Well, it's just a concrete jungle on a mountain, buddy.
It is. It's absolutely insane. It always makes some amazing racing. So yeah, loving it.
And the thing about the F3s is that they're a car, we've talked about this before numerous times, but it's sort of one of those cars that if you trust that there's going to be grip, it's there.
Yes.
If you drive it a bit timid and don't trust it, then it's not there.
Yeah, 100%.
You've got to send it to have grip. And you can see here, like, the chase was scary in the SR8, I remember that. Sorry, not the chase, the Dipper. The Dipper was scary in the SR8. And I'd say it's probably the same in this, because you're flicking around, and if you trust that a little bit too hard, the flick is a bit too heavy, then it'd send you. Todd Riley just saying Dan Murphy did the paints for all the ABR cars. Well, it's looking really good out there, Dan, so well done. Daniel Hunter, he's running in P6 at the moment, up 6 positions. He's having a cracker race so far, and he's currently got the fastest lap of the race with 57.6. So that's not far off the quali times that we were seeing.
He does have a bit of toe there, but it's crazy, man. This early in the race as well. Come on. Brilliant.
Oh, something happened to Daniel Byrne, driver 808, is crossing down the field. What's happened there?
Oh.
A broken car.
It's very broken.
But he's going to make it back to the pit lane. So
No, he's not.
it doesn't want to turn. It doesn't want to turn left.
Oh, no.
Still
Still gonna try and notice it. Come on, Daddy. We're behind you, bro. Come on.
Get it. Daniel, come on, turn it. Turn it.
Come on,
turn it.
come on, you can do it.
Let that down.
There you go.
Let that down. You can see.
Put it in
see
reverse
that
and go into the pits in reverse. Yes,
Got
come
it. I think race control took a bit of sympathy on him and said, you can tow if you want, man. Because they were watching it.
Brilliant.
All right, on board with Phil Bella. So this is our current series leader, running in P7 at the moment. Not finding it all his own way at the moment with that spin that took him out of P1, but he has managed to find a couple of spots back. You can see Matthew Pignata behind him now. Matthew Pinata, I should say, not Pignata. I apologise, Matthew, because I did have a discussion with him last week that a little bit of a joke. I think I called him Michael. I called him Michael instead of Matthew one night, so he decided to remind me of that. And then I might have come back and said, well, at least I didn't call you a stuffed horse filled with candy. And he replied back saying, well, that's actually how you're pronouncing my name.
I always had a feeling it might have been that, but I just didn't want to, I don't know.
Yeah, look, we butcher names like no one else here at SRWTV. Yeah, we take heed. Sorry, Dan Hunter. Sorry, Tom, right? It was Dan Hunter that did the paint, so no worries, buddy. Thanks for correcting that. Yeah, Dan Murphy, that's there. Isn't that where we get our...
I was going to say, you guys do great beer as well.
All right, on board with Timothy Schmalenberg here at the moment, and that is Greg Badley putting the pressure on Timothy at the moment. Looks like Greg's got a nice run there, and there will be a slipstream and a tow, so I'll have to see if Timothy goes defensive or if it's too early here. Probably just a little bit too far back, I think. Yeah, just a little bit too far back. So this lap, Timothy doesn't have to go defensive. You can see there. That's an interesting line. You can see that they're waiting just a little bit longer than you would. A lot of other cars you want to turn in early there so you get in the groove. Whereas these things, they're leaving it a little bit late and then trying to flick it in to straighten out those corners. And as a result, yeah, you can see the rear of Timothy's cars there just showing a little bit of a snappy nature to it.
Yeah, no, definitely avoiding that bump at the top of Solomon there. It's definitely a killer in these cars. If you choose the wrong point to shift up, if you hit it right on the bump, it'll send you straight into the wall.
Same thing back there, sort of coming through with Bellamy. You don't want to hit that inside curve either because that would be deadly. And you can see there, that was full out of the gas and just coast down through the dipper.
Beautiful. But one thing I've been noticing as well, how much smoke there is in the air around Forest Elbow, and I think that's a really telling sign of how much people are sending it, hey? Especially in those battle packs, you see this big puff of smoke above them. It's not anybody actually spinning out, it's just everyone so hard out on those brakes, locking it up straight into Forest Elbow, trying to get as much out of the exit as possible.
Thanks to Area 51 Simsworth saying, let's go Scotty Bargen. Well, Scotty's at the moment down 6 spots in 17th at the moment. I think he was one of the cars that got caught up in that big tangle and had to use that early fast prepare. So he's now looking, making a move up the inside of Danny, and he's got that done with a nice send there. So how's that, Area 51? Jump on board just at the right time to see your boy kicking butt.
Must be some UFOs at work or something, mate, here. Area 51 racing.
Now I can see they have a look at the little icon he's got there in the YouTube chat, so you might be right there.
Loving it. Bit of Roswell.
Lots of great pass. And we can see here Matthew Pinata closing hard. So Phil Vella. So Matthew and Phil, they're two of the guys that are vying for this championship at the moment. So it's great to see them battling together on track. And it's actually Phil's teammate Jay Dixon out in front of him. Now I wonder if Jay's going to let him through, or if this is the case. No, I'm sick of being behind you. I'm in front of you. You better do the job yourself, Phil. I'll have to see what they've got to say.
Yeah, well, with the Alpha Venturi boys, we've seen them in other series not pull any punches as teammates. So it'll be interesting to see what they do tonight.
Yeah, let's see. Well, this is the DFR, the Downforce Racing boys, up ahead of Matthew here, and he was very close to that inside wall. They're on the right, but if you know Bathurst, you'll know that that's sort of one of those spots that if you're going fast, you're close there every lap.
Yes, and that's where you should be.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
So Rob just pointing out where we were talking about those exact times in quali before. Well, so far, Matthew Pig, Nada and Michael Cuttajar have set the exact same time down to the 1,000 as well. Is that someone's had an off there a moment?
Oh no, he's been
coming into the pits. No, he's had an off there.
And Phil Vella is into the pits as well, guys.
It was Phil Vella who went into the pits, so perhaps a little bit of damage for Phil there, or maybe this is...
Oh, he couldn't get it. Oh.
Just lost the rear. Yeah, done well.
Oh, nice work. Looked like he had a handbrake in that F3 for a second there. Wow.
And Stephen Tonkin back on the back of Timothy Schmalenberg, so this pass, yeah, look, he set that up nicely, and I think Timothy hasn't bothered to fight that with his teammates, I think.
Oh, sketchy on entry.
Making an exit. Well, we know why they sometimes refer to motorsport racing as a bit of a dance.
Oh, most definitely.
4 legs instead of 2 with 4 tyres. But you can see there, that was dancing on the edge of the grid.
Oh, most definitely.
And Greg Bradley here on the back of Timothy and Stephen, so he's got 2 JWM boys to deal with ahead of him. Here, the Andring machine, and he's getting a nice run and building up good head of steam here. It's all about placing it now and getting that run out of Forest Elbow for the all-important run down the straight.
Beautiful. Yeah, Greg Bradley absolutely nails the dipper there. Very, very smooth through there.
Just got a little bit deep there, but yeah, you can see that the JWM board's got a pretty good launch. But it's a little bit of a double toe here for Greg, so he should close up on these guys. Maybe not close enough to get the move done of the chase, but this double draft, you see this distance narrow down as we go through the kink.
It's just chomping away at it, isn't he? Oh, into the chase.
I think the toe there helped Timothy, and I think Stephen got a great exit. So, and we can see already a few of the pit stops happening. So,
wow, David Gallo, Jay Dixon, Michael Cuttajar, Steve Tonkin, Greg Bradley, Andrew Lydon, Nick Schmalenberg, all into the pits. Right on 25 minutes here, guys.
40% limit for the pit for the fueling here. 25 minutes in and they pitted, so I don't think they're going to be able to get home on just that one stop. So I'd say it's going to be a 2-stopper. That safety car may well have brought it down to a 2-stopper instead of a possible 3-stopper.
Wow, did you see Houlihan almost clipped the wall on the exit?
The battle for the lead, and they are pushing each other. Last lap, these guys were separated by 200ths of a second. 58.06, 58.08. So the battle is as intense on the timing board as it is out on track. And Sagasa closing down through the S of the dipper.
Stepping out the rear end.
That's where you've got to put it every lap. A little bit of a lock up there from Ryan Plan. Can Braden take advantage of that? Looks like even with that lockout, Ryan's got a pretty good launch. But Braden now fully in the toe, and this is going to be on down at the chase.
Oh, mate. He's going to get inside out front.
There's a little bit of a peekaboo there. Get a bit of clear air, and he's going for the inside run. No, he's going to think better of it. Well, they might be looking at this run. They were both
Oh,
inside
both
and
of their
both
tyres are
coming
getting
into the
sketchy,
pits.
that's why.
Watch the
Oh,
pit entry. Look at how. Oh, you watch that pit entry and see how aggressive they are. If you don't know iRacing, and look at that.
oh,
How
contact in the pits was that?
Oh,
No?
you should have watched that. But when you watch the pit entry of some of these guys, and they effectively straight line it all the way through those S's and slam on the brakes just before the hats.
Crazy big puffs of smoke as they enter the pit lane just before the line, eh?
So here, yeah, so well, you watch it on board at speed, Rob, and it's crazy. You get an idea of how hard they are travelling in here. So look at
No way, I'd never have enough balls to do that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Not in these cars.
I remember watching a Wheelie Bins V8 race, and the entire field did that, like screamed into the pits, and it's just crazy. And I was more thinking that if someone didn't know to do that, it would have caused carnage. Oh, it's had a bit of a change in the back there. David Gallo trying to make a move on Daniel Hunter as well.
Daniel Hunter's made the move on Gallo now.
I think it was the other way around. I think.
No, Hunter's up into third now.
Yeah, but I think Hunter had it, and Dave tried to make the move, and Hunter fell onto it. But it's still P3 at the moment for Daniel Hunter. So he's having a great run.
Look at the pace of Phil Vella behind him, though. Look at the pace on Phil Vella. He is on a mission.
Well, this is after the first round of pit stops have been shuffled around. Phil Vella is a couple of laps ahead of these guys. I don't... Looking at the times, I can't see anyone's taken tyres.
No, nobody yet.
He is
absolutely smoking it. He's really smooth through there.
Well, I think the thing is too that he's had that extra lap or two to get the tyres back up to 10. These guys did it the lap before, so even though the tyres, they didn't change them, they still use a bit of 10. Well, they stopped. And look at this, and you're going to get a run on here.
Oh, that left at the last minute as well. Just every ounce of joy out of that thing.
David Gallo holding that position. And yeah, no, good driving there. That was good defensive driving and good aggressive driving from Phil. He realised that he might have lost the nose if he pushed the point there, and he got out of it. That's smart racing.
Yeah, look.
Alright, so I'm just saying, we'll have a look at the engine lights on the wheel maybe, and you can see that when they're coming down, Conrad, they are maxing out on the limiter in the toe. Look at this, double toe Bella. David Gallo, Daniel Hunter on the outside.
No!
And look at that, an opportunistic move from Phil Vella. He saw that happening and positioned the car perfectly. Look at that. Daniel Hunter's gone into the wall, so that has not just a little bit of contact. That looks like it might be something major. Let's have a look.
There's definitely
a tiny little washout from David Gallo.
Yeah, that's my tire again.
Oh, okay, that's very similar. That's very well. It's very similar to what happened with Andrew Loretti earlier on in the race. And Andrew Loretti did get a black bag for that incident. So David Gallo might be seeing one as well. That's a bit unfortunate, but we'll leave it with race control and they'll let us know the decision they make. But now Phil Vella has made himself back up to P3 and he can now start to chase down Ryan Hurland and Braden Scasso, who are still battling up front.
Wow, well, if he can catch them, because they've got some serious pace, they've got about the same sort of pace as he does, so if he can catch them, mate, that's insane.
Michael Cuttajar here, he's right on the back of Matthew Pinada now, and Michael Cuttajar. Oh, and Phil Vella's on the line as there has been a re-entry, something's happened there. That David Gallo now behind Phil Vella. Ryan Houlihan's back there, so something's happened to Ryan Houlihan. So let's have a look at that and see what's happened there.
Upset.
All right, and let's stay with it because, okay, so he's... Oh, he's just got a bit of grass.
Oh, no!
Just a little bit of grass there. He's done well. But it's this rejoin, and we saw what happened.
Whoa!
He might have got away with that.
Oh!
Remember what happened at Bathurst?
Wow!
Well, remember what happened with the Bathurst 1000 last year in the rain and crossing
that was
there and Reynolds
brutal,
car getting
wasn't it?
taken out. So it's definitely something that can happen here in the real world. And on board with Greg Bradley, he looks like he's done. He's still got the two JWM boys in front. I think Timothy and Stephen have swapped positions. Whether or not that's battling or just swapping on track, by the looks of it, they're close together. So I think they're battling each other. So it's good when you can have a battle with your teammate, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. And Steve Tonkin was the one that just had that early incident off after the chase there. So
Right.
it's good that he's found his way back onto the back of Timothy. Should be able to try and work with him. But all he's doing right now is giving a double. All they're doing right now is giving double toe to Greg Bradley. So
Oh, Greg's got just dropped up the back here a little bit to see if he can maximise his exit here. Bit of a shallow line he's taken there.
very shallow, wasn't it?
But he did get it squared up and got full acceleration rather well there. So perhaps that is close enough.
Yeah, shallow line, but then a great exit. So
Yeah, it's not enough though. He's not close enough just yet. So so that line, that narrow line, probably did cost him a few k's an hour. As the JWM boys are drafting each other and riding at each other's coattails. Alright guys, out there in YouTube land and Facebook land, if you are enjoying the show, please give us a like, hit that subscribe button and notifications so you don't miss out on any of the action here at SRW TV. And there it is, David Gallo has received a black flag for that contact. So race control has been consistent to Kitten's cars making contact into T2 and both of them copping a black flag. Oh, who's that that's run wide up ahead? Was that Jay Dixon that got a little bit out of shape there, and now Ryan Houlihan pressuring him around the outside of the cutting. Michael Cuttajar, did he get in on the action here? This is a great shot where you get to see it, how close and how big those walls were.
Oh, and yeah, in a car,
I thought I'd go
even a
quiet
touch
there.
on any of those walls.
Well, I thought I'd go quiet there just to show to you guys that there's no lifting over the top. Hitting the limiter there, did you hear that? So you hit the limiter just as you come into the S's. Yeah, and we're about to see the same thing again, Rob tells me, so that when you're in the draft, you get a great read. They are hitting the limiter before they're hitting the kick. So let's stay on board and see if we can hear this machine revving out. Yeah, you can see that just started hitting. He was close to the limiter. I think you heard it picking there just as he went into the chase, but yeah, didn't quite have the full on toe. Okay, so who's that limping back to the pits? That looks like
That's Dean Singovich.
Dean Singovich limping into the pits there. So what's happened there? Oh, okay, he's gone in hard into the chase by the looks of it.
Looks like he's missed. Oh, he's
that is
going up the hill at the
dipper.
dipper. He's back
That
the
is
wrong
dipper,
way.
You're right.
Oh, that's why. It put us off a bit.
That is scary.
Yeah.
Or is he going to pick it round? Is he going to try to... Yeah, that's the only way you can really do it, I suppose. Done well. But that's cost him a lot of time and put him right at the back of the field.
Yeah, well judged to get it turned around there. It's very hard to do.
All right. And so maybe he's had that car repaired early on because he did have that spin early on, so maybe the car's broken now. But we're on board with Timothy Schmalenberg, still fighting his teammate, and that's Steve Tonkin's got through on him. Because this was the other way around about a lap or two ago. So
Yeah, it was.
Are having a red hot ding, and you'd be love to be a fly in the wall of their Discord room as they're talking and chatting this up.
Yeah.
So Rob's saying lap 17, they shuffled positions, 3 times? But these boys are battling hard
That
which
is
great
awesome.
to see.
And I think
Yeah,
that's what they kind of need to do around here as well. They can't just, you can't just work
Lock up
around.
the inside front lock up there, but Greg Bradley looks like he's got a bit better run this time on them. A lot closer into that toe. Is he going to be close enough to make a dive down at the chase? Well, the double toe's starting to work for him now. We can see him closing up. You know what? He doesn't want to reach him too close. Oh, this is going to be close. How brave is Greg feeling? Oh, he's going to try and get him on the exit here. He can. Yeah, good run. Timothy covering the inside there. Was worried Greg might try to send it up the inside, but we are about 38 minutes into this race, guys, so 2/3 of the way through our second race here of our Wednesday Super Show here at SRW TV. Again, all brought to you thanks to Warren and Brown Tools, our round sponsor for both events tonight. Our other sponsors, we thank them as well. They are Fast Track Experiences, Racecraft, Grim Industries, Toyo Sim, Melville Equipment Corp, and Dragon RC. Scotty Bargen and Andrew Lydon here, side by side coming up to the Griffins. We've seen contact there before, but Andrew, the smarter of the kittens, may be getting out to make sure that that doesn't happen. And a nice move from Scott Bargen there. And we come back to the battle of the JWM boys. And we can see Thomas Sanderson starting to get onto the back of this battle now too, so heating up. Jay Dixon here, P4. Matthew Pignata, P3 in front of him. So did we miss something there with Matthew jumping through? Braden Sagassa out in front. 2.5 seconds, Braden Sagassa up the road. So what's happened there? We maybe missed that. Adam Simpson with an off track there by the looks of it. As well, but you can see here Michael Cutter-Jar at the back of this battle. It's Jay Dixon, Ryan Houlihan. So that's Houlihan getting the job done on Dixon down into the chase. Cutter-Jar was hoping he'd be close enough there, but not quite close enough. But there still is plenty of time to get the job done here. Toddy, are these tyres going to last an hour?
No way they're going to last an hour. I don't reckon they're definitely not going to last an hour around here, especially not at 34 degrees track temp. Average track temp, I definitely don't think they're going to last. So I think that second stop is when people are going to jump on their tyres. I think that's my thoughts.
I'm looking here, Daniel Byrne. He's got a minute 10 pit. Oh, we have a safety car coming out, so is there a big moment that we missed?
And Adam Simpson off track. Yeah,
let's have a look and see what's Adam
here.
Simpson. That car's looking pretty broken by now. He's already broken by then. It's already broken by then. So maybe you have to go a bit further back and yeah. Oh, there, okay. So wind that up as he locked it up. Or is that a bit of grass? That's grass.
Oh, it's far too much pace as well though.
Probably, you're right.
Wow.
It's gone in there a bit too hot, and then as you can see now, it doesn't want to turn.
Yeah.
And he's tried to bring it back, and it's just got stuck in the tyres, so that's where he's had to tow.
Oh, so that's what's brought out a safety car.
Well, it's going to spice things up again for the last 20 or so minutes of this race, Toddy.
I still didn't make my prediction. What's your prediction for safety cars then, Cowy? We didn't get to that. We didn't finish that conversation. I'm thinking 4, to be honest. That's my prediction.
Oh, we've seen 2. Who's that sideways? Stephen Tonkin. What's happened here?
Ooh.
I think he's gone into the wall, or is he just trying to wait for everyone to go by, see if he's still got a car? So that's Curb and...
Same spot.
Oh, so
it's done the same thing.
Dean's gone deep, and then he's seen down. No, he's just got wide. He's just gone wide.
3 S's in the dipper, only ever break in a straight line and coast the rest, guys. That's all.
Well, he's made it back to the pits, has he now? All right, so we're seeing all of these guys taking advantage of the safety car to do their final pit stop. That was, is that going to be a black flag? Oh, that is going to be so interesting.
No.
Let's just maybe stay on Greg here. Oh, I was going to say, let's.
Wow. Oof. Yeah, speeding in pits, definitely 100%.
Well, let's
well past the
see. Let's
control
just
line.
watch his pit stop. Maybe speed through it and see if it's. Where is he into the pits at the moment, Greg Bradley? He's starting to go down the order. He's starting to go down the order from other people pitting. He's still in the pits. Time. Yeah, I reckon there might be a hold there. He's starting to tumble down the order. Well, it's certainly been action-packed here tonight at SRW TV, Toddy. Great to see that the action on track has kept you with us. You didn't think you might not make it, buddy.
Yeah, mate, I do have early meetings, but this is worth it. Yeah, I got a big day tomorrow, early meetings, but this is definitely worth it. The more I get into it, I'm like, yeah, nah, this is awesome, mate. Because I've always wanted to see these F3s at Bathurst as well, so I was like, yeah, come on, let's do this. We have to do this.
Well, we did see them for the first time here a couple of times in season 4. I know the SRA.
Never this big a field, though.
Here.
Never
That's
this
right,
big
yeah.
field. Yeah.
Yeah, put 20, 30 cars out there, and it's a lot narrower track than you really think. Greg Bradley, yep. That pit stop was 1:19, and that's put him back in P18. So yeah, he's sped in the pit lane and copped a 40-second hold, I think. Or he's taken tyres. One of the two. Steve Tonkin coming out of the pits now as well, is he? And Adam Simpson, Steve Sinkovich, Dean Sinkovich, and Andrew Johnston, they're all well back a lap, so see if they're out running or parked up in the pits. Daniel Hunter, he's been a bit up and down, up 5 spots now. He was up a lot higher earlier. Timothy Schmalenberg up 9 spots. Matthew P. Nada up 6 spots. Daniel Hunter, I said 5, that's right. Who else we got up? Andrew Lydon up 10. Doug Dowens up 13. Danny Matisic up 8. Nathan Burney up 6. And then it's Adrian Loretti, Daniel Byrne, Steve Tonkin down the big numbers there, 13, 11 and 17 down for Steve Tonkin, so that hurts. P5 back to P22, ouch. I think he's still on the lead lap, but he's trying to make his way onto the back here. Alright, looks like there's a couple of waiver rounds too, so a few of the guys getting a chance to get their lap back, which is great to see.
And Race Control doing a stellar job tonight as well, I must say. Thank you very much to the promo department as well for your help and all your sponsorship and all the support with not only SRW but with the safety car every single series we have.
Yeah, no, that's it. Well, it's great to have them on board, as it is great to have all of our sponsors on board. You out there in YouTube and Facebook land, if you guys are enjoying the show and have not already subscribed to our channel, please do so. It's a big help and it's going to help us really grow here at SRW. Also hit that like button on all of our videos. Jump in the chat and let us know your thoughts. Let us know how much you're enjoying the racing. Who's your favourite out there? You know, is Phil Vella going to walk away with another victory tonight? Or is Braden Sagassa, who's been lighting it up in the V8 supercars, now he's gone into the... No, is Braden in front? Yeah, he's in front. He's hiding inside the... Yeah, he's hiding inside the chrono set. I think probably with the iRacing safety car, you can hide inside it. I don't think that's a good idea to do that with the race steward driving it around at the moment. But it is going to be a cracker battle for the end of this race. We are inside the last 15 minutes. I'd say this will be the last lap under the safety car. So maybe a 12, 13-minute run. Yes, Toddy?
Yeah, so they'd be very kind of similar in braking kind of ways, wouldn't they? With you're a bit of an expert in the V8 supercar and you drive a lot of them. Is there that much similarity in braking and that sort of stuff with the F3s, you think, or are they just a totally different car? Just for all the viewers out there.
Totally different.
Totally different. Okay. Yeah.
Well, so, you know, as we said before, sort of the SR rate is actually fairly comparable
to
to
this.
the F3. So the fact that I
Okay.
did some SR8 racing last year means I've had a couple of goes in the F3 and felt okay.
Yeah.
One of the things about these cars is it's all about the downforce. So the faster you go, the more downforce you have.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it becomes that
The more balls, the more
counterintuitive-
success.
well, it becomes that counterintuitive argument that normally you want to slow down a bit more to get the car turned in. In these things, you actually want to carry a bit more speed through the corner because it'll just stick. And it's, as we said before, they're very much a car that's based on trust. And that's why you will see even the best racers will have a moment and go off and bin the car because you've got to trust it to get the most out of it. The moment you don't trust it,
Yeah.
try and start driving it gingerly, is the moment that you're seconds off the pace.
Yeah, you got to really push these cars on the edge. I just thought, like, you know, with the lack of sort of ABS and traction control and stuff into corners, maybe the braking would be kind of similar. But I suppose you're paying with a lot more anti-roll bar, etc., etc. When you're fighting,
Well-
you have to fight with a V8 supercar a lot more than you do have to with.
You remember the movie Days of Thunder?
Yeah.
When he's talking to Tom Cruise about the open wheel racing to stock car racing, very similar. So you come from a car that weighs half as much with tyres that's twice as wide, going
Yeah.
into a car that weighs twice as much on tyres that are half as wide.
That's
And that's
awesome.
the difference.
That's cool.
Right,
Yeah,
so-
100%.
So the V8 supercar is very much about controlling the weight, the sway and roll of the car to your advantage. These things here is all about running them as low to the ground as possible, trusting that you've got grip and sending it. Every
Yeah,
time.
just cojones all the time.
Send it.
Yeah.
All right, well, safety car is pulling away from the field, so it's in the hands of Braden Sagasa. Sagasa, I apologise, Braden, if I'm murdering your name. I'll probably try and find a couple of different ways to say it before the screen's out tonight anyway. But control of the field is in your hands, buddy. Looks like he's going to back them up a fair bit, but mind you, he's waiting on race control to say that it's all clear to go. Cause he can't do anything until race control advises that they're in the pits, and the track is fully in his hands. Right, there we go. So it's now, when does Braden go? Oh, he's keeping him checked up a bit into Murray's.
He needs to be smart about this one because he's got Phil behind him. We know how fast Phil is.
Let's have a look. There he goes. There he goes.
Wow, there's a quick straight on that.
Phil wasn't sure then, was he? He wasn't sure what he was going to do.
was
So that was just that little bit of advantage maybe Braden need. But Phil, look at this, getting a great run out of Hell Corner.
That was very
Minus
clever
the
from
beast
Braden.
up.
He
Ryan
waited
back.
to just on the apex and then straight on the gas. That was very
Jake
clever.
Dixon going up the outside of Ryan Houlihan, heading up Mountain Straight. Can Ryan hold the inside here? Is he going to push the point? Oh, Phil Vella looking to make a move. Matthew Pignardo making a move on Phil there as well. So that is great stuff. And can he go around the outside? That's close to the wall. Oh, and Phil's back up on the inside.
He just cleared Phil Vella there as well.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Oh, Daniel Hunter's
Daniel Hunter's put, and he's tumbling down the wall, down the order. So something bad happened there. Is it a spin or a broken car? We'll have to keep an eye out on race control.
That's just sketchy cold tyres on that lap run restart, or the restart of the safety car, right?
And look at this is nose to tail battles here as the field, the top 5 runners all about a second apart. This is exactly what we wanted to see here. Alright, a bit of a run here. Pinata's got a run here. It's nice and early. Sagasa with a slow exit out of the...
Did you see Pinata almost made it onto the grass on the outside as well there? He just
The
missed
issue
it.
is that he's probably caught him a bit early because we're going to find Braden.
Safety car, safety car, safety car.
Okay, well he's done well because he's got that done just before the call comes out. So it is a safety car again. So let's have a look and see what happened
I
to
think that was the Daniel Hunter one, but
Daniel Hunter?
Thomas
Yeah.
Sanderson has had a bit of a moment as well there. So
All right, so here we go. Who are we having a look at? Thomas Sanderson. So what's happened here? Is there contact? No, he's just
It's all him.
tagged. He's just gone out wide and then tagged the wall. And it's the same thing happened in front.
oh, he's sneaking at his teammate. Oh no!
I don't think
Oh.
they hit each other. I think they were a couple of cars separated. Tony,
I think
so I don't
the
think
second one was
think-
avoiding it. I think his teammate was trying to avoid it.
no.
Look at it.
No, one's up the inside of JWM.
Oh,
So
they
what
are.
if there's contact there? So he's gone out and then. No, he's just lost it. The other Alpha's lost it on exit. One of the things,
Oh,
you take that tight line exit, you get on the gas too hard, you can loop it around. Looks like
yeah,
Thomas
because
has
the
made it
camera of
back
the
to.
track.
Yep, Thomas has made it back to the pits under his own steam by the looks of it there. Right, okay, we have got about 7 minutes to go, so I wouldn't be surprised if the safety car is only out for maybe this lap. We'll keep an ear on comms and see what has happened, but they're shuffling all up and down the field. It's now Matthew Pignata in 8 positions up and running in P1 as we come into the last sort of 7 minutes of this motor race. Yeah, Doug, the grandpa Gowans, 15 spots. Andrew Lydon up 12 spots. Andrew had a really poor qualifying, but he's now put it up inside the top 10. Danny, another one of the Kittens boys that had poor quali, he is now running up 9 spots in 15th, so that's a pretty good recovery. And Timothy Schmalenberg running in 7th, up 10. So there's our big movers.
He had a bit of early teamwork with his teammates as well, and he kind of some of his teammates made some mistakes there, so he kind of just was consistent and just being patient, right?
Well, he's got the Brewed Coffee livery running there. That's rather striking. Good to see that the paints are loaded properly this week. I know we do apologise, guys. Not really that we could do much about it, but Trading Paints just decided to play a few tricks on us. All right, so the safety car is pulling away from the field, so we will be getting ready to go live. It is almost 5 minutes to go in this motor race, so it's going to be short and sweet. I reckon we might get 3 laps in of absolute F3s sending it around the mountain.
It's
Right.
gonna be crazy.
Rob's a bit worried behind the scenes. How's he going to be able to keep an eye on all the action going on? Is he gone early? No, you got to be careful. You can't go and stop.
And we haven't really seen Matty Pignata do many restarts, so I'm not really sure how he's going to take this. Or what, do you know?
He's gone early. He's gone early.
Yeah, it's really early.
Yep, and Braden's read that nicely, but
I think that was a touch early, to be honest. He hasn't given himself enough of a buffer.
well, I think the problem is going before the corner then as you almost telegraph it, so car behind you can really focus on the exit.
Yeah.
Right, but look at this, the train of F3s. We can see a couple of guys maybe got either caught napping or that concertina has just meant they've sort of missed the start a little bit. But it is Matthew Pindada, Braden Sagassa and Phil Bella all battling for the podium at the moment. Jay Dixon behind Phil. Well, they are teammates, so I don't know if Jay's going to send here, but he'll be ready to pounce if Phil can open the door. Perhaps Jay can walk through it as well.
I have to say, Phil looks like the smoothest on track right now at the pointy end. So it's gonna be interesting.
Catching the car in front is one thing. Passing the car in front is another. And
Yeah, that is very true, Cowy.
making a little move there to peekaboo. There's not really many places to pass over the top, but you can maybe make the driver in front watch his mirrors a bit more. Alright, so it's going to be all about the setup here. Can Phil get a great launch? He's taking a little bit better angle, got on the gas early. Oh, I think he had to maybe wait a little bit there. That car didn't quite turn in the way he wanted it to. He ran a bit wide. But double draft, is it going to be enough for him? See Ryan Houlihan getting a run on Jay Dixon. Now Jay's moved inside the cover. And how strong is that toe? Now we'll see if that means Ryan can get the job done. This is one of those corners where he's got tight on the inside, and you've got to make sure you can wash wide there to block the exit because, 3 wide. Braden trying to go around the outside. Phil getting a good run. Straight to the inside for Matthew. He's defending like his life depends on it. And is this white flag? Is this white flag lap? No, we may be good. Another 2 after this. Or at least another lap after this one.
Yeah.
But you can see Phil again coming into the draft. He's now got that slingshot. They're going to go 3 wide to Griffins. No, we can't go 3 wide, guys. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
No way.
Braden Sagassa, he called chicken and got out of that real quick. Wow.
What an effort, mate. That was brilliant. That was sensational. That was incredible.
Look, I don't blame you there, Braden, for getting out of that because 3 wide through Griffins and you were looking like the meat in the sandwich there, buddy. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah, it was fun many times close together, wasn't it?
Well, look, we talked about it before, Toddy. The top 3 are battling. What does that mean for P4, Ryan Houlihan? That gives him a chance to catch back up. We will probably be getting the white flag this next lap around, so let's make sure we keep an eye out for Barney. So it's all on. Can Ryan get himself onto the back here and maybe put his nose up somewhere where it shouldn't be? Come on, pig, I'll kick you, good thing. Good on you, Tom. So big support there for Matty up front. This battle is on for young and old. And look at the slipstream. Is that Braden Sagassa popping out? He's going to try and go up the inside here.
On the outside, what a move!
And he's got the job done.
Oh, no way! Come on, that should be possible. It's still on though.
And keep an eye out for Barney. Is the white flag? Oh no, he's gone into the wall. Little rub from Matty. Is that damaged the car? I think he's got away with that.
Oh yeah, that's Barney.
It is white flag. Barney's waving to his heart's content. Ryan Houlihan now getting in on this as well. Braden Sagassa trying to get him by Matthew Pignata. Phil Vella, look at Phil, he's just running the normal race line up there, taking advantage.
Oh, they're not going to go 3 wide again, are they?
No, watch this. I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan hangs Braden out a little bit here. Yeah, get his teammate through, that's the way to do it. That is great driving.
That is
Braden Sagassa. Well, Braden Sagassa finding himself on the end of a bit of Alpha Venturi racecraft there. Jay Dixon, well, he's trying to get in on this battle. Michael Carterjar's on the back of it as well. So this is a last lap dash, and they're all fighting hard. Can Jay get close enough here? It's Phil Bella's got a 1.3 second lead now. Matthew Pignata, Ryan Houlihan, only 10 separates them. It's a couple of 10 separating the next bunch. And then we've got these 4 cars here battling hard. This is for P2.
That's insane.
All right, so this is going to be a triple draft for Jay. He's going to focus on that exit.
Oh, lock up from Braden as well on.
Is he close enough? Braden's out there. This might work to his advantage.
Oh, Braden's got this, I reckon. He might have this.
Carterjar's closing in as well.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. He's going to set it up. Oh, and it's a block and a tap.
No, he locked it up. That was all him.
That's
right, was that all him?
We'll have to have a look and see if there was a movement under brakes there or not, or it's the last lap sending, so these things will happen. Well, race control will have something to do after this race finishes, but it is Phil Vella comes away with win number 4.
That was brilliant.
And he is absolutely running away with this championship.
That was
right, so here it is here. So, all right, so that might be
There's a bit of contact there.
Yeah, Ryan might get in a bit of trouble there because he's moved in reaction to.
Yep. No, he didn't move on.
That's the thing. Rob's saying he didn't move more than once, and this is where it's grey. But the thing is, when you're coming into a braking zone, you can't just brake across the track. So I don't know. That's one I'm not sure of. We'll have to see what race control's got to say about it. What do you think out there, guys? But Tom is of that was
Wow.
okay,
That was
so
crazy,
it's
man.
coming-
That was front wing on rear wheel, though, so...
Okay, so the race control was just saying that event, that incident is currently under review. So we'll wait to see what happens. But wow, that was a hell of a battle up front, Toddy. And are you glad
Wow.
you stayed along, buddy?
Oh, definitely, man. How good was that? Just to see Phil battle his way back through that pack, just absolutely insane. And we had so many lead changes, so much teamwork from all these guys, with so many people on the field as well. Super exciting.
Okay, all right. Well, race control just advising a couple of things. So there will be a couple of investigations post-race. So although we will be bringing in our podium finishes for tonight's race, everything I suppose is probably still going to be interim, Toddy, until race control makes its choices.
Oh, yeah, true. So late in the race. Wow. That was crazy, man. Crazy action. You know, everybody was so hungry for it, and you can see that in all the races tonight. And that's what made it so exciting, I think.
Nice. This is our final finisher. No, this is Matthew coming around at the end of the... So come around to finish, to stop at the start-finish line with the other cars. Awesome. There we have our podium runners all lining up right next to the Mount Panorama, riding on the track. Awesome stuff. Let's go over to that outside camera and have a look at the 3 cars lined up. There we go. Our podium runners for tonight. Phil Vella for Downforce Racing, Matthew Pignata for Alpha Venturi Racing, and Braden Sagassa. Who are you racing with, Braden? With the 1.9 boys, was it? Yeah, the 1.9 MX Wraps machine. Congratulations to our podium. We've got a couple of the runners in the green room now, so let's bring in our P3 finisher, Braden. Alright, can I grab him? Let's have a look. There we go. So, Braden, bring you in, buddy. P3 tonight in that race. How was the craziness of that last lap dash there, buddy?
Oh, I have no words. I was shaking when I was leading the field. Yeah, I had a lot of nerves going.
Well, there was double shuffles, and there was a 2-way pass there, and then Matthew got back through, Phil got through. I thought you were going to take advantage of an open door there, but it got shut in your face. It was all happening, buddy.
Oh, absolutely. It was it was quite chaotic.
Yeah, we know you've had some good run-ins in the V8 supercars at the front of the pack. How is driving the F3s at the front of the pack?
It's very close quarters. That's all I can say. Very, very close quarters.
And the toe,
Oh, the toe!
There, then you get a double toe, but the thing is, when you almost want to catch them at the kink. If you catch them too early, then you're giving them a chance to get another run on you.
Exactly right. It's all a mind game with the Formula 3s.
Well, it looked like awesome fun out there, and I reckon that if I wasn't on the comms on a Wednesday night, I'd be out there racing these things, because it does look like a hell of a time, buddy. Are you glad you joined the series, mate?
Yeah, I joined it last week. I just had an average run back then. I was shocked, but these guys in here, they are top-notch drivers. They are something else.
Awesome. Well, you just got to try and bring a few of the other 1.9 boys in to join the fray, but you're going to let us know who's giving you all the support. P3 tonight, buddy. Congratulations. Let us know who's, supporting you boys on your journey here in the sim world.
Yeah, no problem, mate. First of all, I would want to thank our main sponsor, MX Wraps. If you guys ever want a wrap for your motorbike, make sure to hit them up. If you use the code 19, you do get 10% off. They're a great sponsor, and I'm glad they came aboard with 19.
Awesome, buddy. Well, we certainly hope you stick around. Are you going to keep racing these things?
Yeah, if I have time, I'll definitely jump in for next week.
Awesome, buddy. Well, Mount Panorama, where the walls loom large, and you had all these other cars around you, that looked like an absolute bust. And I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well.
Well, I think I'll have to try and sort of look after my voice tomorrow after tonight because I've got a gig on Friday. So it was crazy.
Yeah, it was insane.
Well done, buddy, and great battles out there. And we love the fact that you enjoyed it just as much as we did.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right. So let's bring in the stuffed toy with candy once again. Matty, what a stellar battle going on there at the end, man. Was it double passes, double toes down there? You were jinking left and right trying to find room. It was crazy.
Yeah, just about the first win in this series is eluding me at the moment. So I'm trying so hard and it's just always getting me either on the last lap or the second last lap. I just can't get it at the moment.
That's all right, but look, it's great battling, buddy, and you're right in the hunt there, but Phil pulled off that big surprise move up the mountain straight, and there was just cars everywhere, man, bit of self-preservation, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely could have probably done a little bit of strategy in terms of when overtaking Braden coming into the second last lap, or the third last lap even, I think it was, just even staying behind him, trying to grab a toe and get him at a better point in the race, so at least I could have a better chance of holding off Phil. But I think.
So did you hang him? Did you hang him out to dry a little bit at Griffin's there, so Hurley could come through behind you?
Yeah, that was the plan. That was the plan. That was the plan.
No, it worked perfectly, but then I think there's just a bit of contact with Hurley and Jay in the background there, so we'll have to see what race control's got to say. But regardless, man, like we saw it in the TCRs tonight, we see it in the F3s. You boys were prepared to send it and have a go, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I don't know what happened with the incident behind. I saw in my mirror just Hooley almost wiping me out coming into the chase, so I was very scared I was going to get taken out as well. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that incident. I have to go back and watch that on the replay. But yeah, it's really just a matter of trying to hold your position, especially at this track with the mad straight line speed that you get being in the toe. So if you can hold that position into the chase or turn two, then hold them off for the rest of the lap.
Well, we saw that, it was you could get up alongside, but that didn't mean you got the job done. And again, that's one of those things that just means, brings break battles. And the moment you guys started battling, did you look further back in your mirror as they were all starting to come onto you? Looked like it might have been 6 of you all vying for P1 on that last lap.
My eyes were completely forward in trying to catch back up to Phil after I made the mistake at the final corner. I did not look in my mirror until probably Conrod. So that was just, head down completely in those last 3 laps. I did not check in my mirror until the end of the race pretty much. So,
well, you did say that your victory seems to be eluding you, buddy, but you're getting close. Another P2 tonight for the Alpha Venturi boys. Let us know who's giving you guys all that support out there.
Big thanks to Toyo Sim as well, Preach, all the boys in the Discord as well, helping throughout the race, coordinating toes down the straight for quali, and even in the race, just making some little tactics to keep us in the hunt as well. So it's big thank to all of them and the guys in the Discord, and Greenie as well for being a good race director, race engineer for us, making sure we're right in the hunt for it and what strategy we should use, especially in the pit stops as well under safety car. So big thanks to all of them.
You were certainly right there in the hunt, buddy. I know that victory won't be too far around the corner. You just maybe have to shoot Phil's tyres out or something.
Yeah, did that last race, and almost thought about doing it into the chase, but no, couldn't pull it off. So too far back to make a lunge, and hopefully I can at least get a race win in this season. So,
well, I'm sure it'll come, buddy. But you are driving excellent. You're putting yourself up the front. Toddy, you got anything to say to Matty before we kick him out?
Nah, bro, just brilliant racing tonight, mate. And I just want to see you. Just a bit more of these results will be great to see. You're a bit further up to the pointy end of the field. Great to see. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, our P2 finisher, Matthew Pinata, the candy-filled race driver. Great to have him in here, and we'll
give it a good whack tonight.
Talk to you next week, buddy.
I'll have to speak to you guys next week. Catch ya.
Thanks, mate. All right, let's bring him into the booth. Phil Vella. Well, Phil, we saw that in a little bit of grass looping you did at the start of the race. Was that just to make it a bit more exciting for you? You had to fight your way through the field?
You're welcome, guys. You're absolutely welcome.
That was brilliant, mate. That was amazing.
I've moved to using a clutch, and I thought I'll save some fuel here. And then I let the clutch out and compression locked and looped it. So yeah, don't need that clutch. I should just get rid of it now. But no, it was good to kind of try and work back through the field, and we had some kind of great battles back there. I had one with Matt through the top of the mountain there, and it was just incredible driving by him to keep it really clean and respectful up there.
Well, we could see that it was getting pretty tight, and then there was cars coming in behind and that, and then you saw your opportunity and got through on that penultimate lap, mate. So you probably had a little breather at the finish.
Yeah. I figured if I could get those two to battle, it might give me a few tenths to pull away with and just build a little bit of a gap. And I'm not sure what happened in the last few turns there for kind of second, third, and fourth, and what elapsed there. But
I think it might have been Jay and Hurley that had a little bit of a get together, but we'll see what race control's got to say. Last lap shenanigans that they are, but mate. There was awesome battles, and you didn't have it all your own way. The guys were fighting hard, and those shuffles for the lead there at the last sort of 5 laps of the race was absolutely breathtaking to watch.
Yeah, look, I actually thought I'd have to chase Braden down for it. He built up a 3 or 4 second lap gap, and I'd kind of had battles with David, who was racing really well and really on the pace tonight, and Matt. And so I was just like, I just need to try and clear this so I can chew down that lead a little bit. But I'm not sure if I would have caught him before the safety car. I think I might have gotten a little bit lucky with it, but we had a lot of safety cars tonight.
Well, it is Mount Panorama, the concrete jungle over a mountain, so I suppose safety cars were going to be on the menu. But right at the end there, sort of bunched it up and give us a bit of excitement.
Yeah. I think at one point it felt like we were 3 wide into turn 2 there.
You were
okay,
so intensely insane.
I think it was Braden that decided that the middle spot going into Griffins was not where he wanted to be.
Yeah, I mean, I tried the outside line a few times there, and it hadn't worked for me, and I thought maybe that's just how I'm driving it versus it not being competitive out there. But yeah, just a little bit later into there, and it gave me a nice drive up and got me in a second, and then I was able to kind of stay in touch with Matthew over the top there and get that move done on the I don't know the name of that corner, the one on the back straight there. The chase.
The chase.
Yeah. So I was pretty happy with that move, but I'm keen to see what they look like on the replay too.
Oh mate, it was insane. We were on board camera. Yeah, we were on board camera in the middle car, just on Braden's car in the middle when he just stepped out, and you could just mate, brilliance, absolute brilliance.
Yeah, it was massive fun out there. It's such a great track. It's super unforgiving. Like I hit the wall 2 or 3 times, and I was lucky to get away with kind of minimal damage. I think I got more damage from being hit on the safety car lap than I did from tapping the walls, to be honest. But it's such a flow track, especially through the dipper there, and so easy to get wrong very quickly.
Well,
yeah, we could see you're really smooth,
place, isn't it? That's where you coast. Don't want too much throttle through the dipper.
Yeah. There's a change in the colour of the signs on the right, and I kind of use that as the mark to back off. But like you're flat into the first part of that, and then it's pretty hard braking. You've got to trust the downforce a lot coming through there, which is a bit uncomfortable because the curbs on the inside are pretty high as well.
And we saw that the toe was quite effective, and you guys were hitting the limiter before you hit the kink when you were getting a good run in the toe.
Yeah. It was hard to kind of get around. You're right. Like both cars would top out, and it became kind of who wanted to carry brakes a bit later in. But the challenge with that at the chase is you compromise your exit, and then coming into Hell Corner, you're kind of opening yourself back up. for that car to make a move on you. But it was like the heat of the track made it quite difficult to do that as well in a consistent fashion.
Well, it was absolutely awesome to watch tonight and great exciting finish to the race there. Phil Vella for Downforce Racing once again. P1, buddy, you better let us know who's supporting Downforce because we keep hearing it and we keep forgetting.
Yep. So firstly, I'd like to thank all my teammates in Downforce Racing. Greatly appreciative of the support and the hints and tips and tricks and the exchange of lap times through the week. I'd like to thank my wife for helping make the space for me to enjoy this hobby. I'd like to thank JJ Laddick. He's been a great coach for me and really helped me get on pace and be effective in this series. So very appreciative of his guidance and time. I'd like to thank yourselves. It's wonderful to watch the commentary back. I really enjoy that, and you guys do such a great job. And the series organisers, it's not easy to keep 30 super competitive folk happy, and I think they do a wonderful job there, as well as the series sponsors. They really help sustain these types of series, and greatly appreciative for their efforts.
Well, you've certainly, you haven't entered the series with a splash. It's more like a horsey, I reckon. So as you've, definitely, created waves, but all of those waves are going backwards, buddy, as you keep striding forward, putting it P1 week after week.
Yeah, I got a few mistakes to cleanse out of the system so that we could make it a bit more convincing, but no, I appreciate it, guys.
Well, there's definitely a target on your back, Phil, so good luck with that going forward. I'm sure that the boys would love to see you in their mirrors. So you're going to have to keep your work cut out to stop that from happening, buddy.
Will do.
Awesome. That is our race for winner, Phil Vella for DFR Racing, Downforce Racing. Well, Toddy, I'm going to give you a bit of a word now. I talked during all the interviews there, but let me know what you thought of your return to the F3 seat.
Oh, mate, I'm glad I stuck around, to be honest, mate. That on the penultimate lap, going 3 wide. Oh, mate, that was insane, coming up the hill into turn 2. Just incredible. And, Braden's foresight to actually pull out of that and just choose his battles well, and for him to still get the podium then, still get that 3rd spot on the podium. Brilliant drive from him, and just amazing race, man. It's crazy.
Well, I am certainly glad you enjoyed yourself, Toddy. I enjoyed myself. I know Rob did. We heard you guys can't hear him out in YouTube and Facebook land, but Rob was as exciting as we were during the final moments of that broadcast. But guys, if you are loving the content, don't forget to give us that like and subscribe. It really helps. That will bring us to the end of our Wednesday night super show here. It started with the TCRs at Winton. It finished with the Formula 3 cars at Bathurst. And what a cracker night of racing we had. And I'm sure there's more to come in the future for our big growth series, the F3s. We've had 30 plus cars consistently every round this season, and it's just great to see them coming out and supporting. If you are interested in getting involved in sim racing with Sim Racing World, you can give us a shout out there on our socials. Head to our Discord where you can find out all the information there if you want to come along and join in the fun. That will bring us to the end of our coverage of tonight's racing. This is Cowy, your average sim racer here. On behalf of the broadcast and management team, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining us. We'll sign off saying good night, best wishes, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Sim Racing World TV.
Much love, legends. Keep safe.
To turn one, this is amazing. Up clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble model right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanner